Speedrome comes to life at the Indianapolis Speedrome. 28 of the fastest cars ever assembled for a figure eight race on the grid right now as we get ready to roll. On the pole, an unproven rookie in this event, but from a long heritage of figure eight racing. Tommy St. John captured the fastest spot on the grid with a time of 16.072, eclipsing that set by his fellow right next to him, Ben Tunney, in the number 5, came in at 16.075. Also up on the grid, now you're going to have the number 4, your defending champion, next up in 3rd position, Mike Hadley Jr. Out next to him is going to be Austin Tunney, already a winner here in this event. After that, your 2018 Speedrome champion, Jesse Tunney, in the number 1. A fellow who could be a very, very well-lit dark horse to take this one tonight. The 3D of Steve Durham goes up next. And then you got a fellow that's already picked up a championship in this race and wants another one. The 3T of Mark Tunney will try to keep him straight for you as they go through the grid. Car is pulling out on the track right now from the starting grid. You've also got the number 17. Keep an eye on Cory Harmon, one of the most aggressive, toughest drivers, already with a Speedrome win and a Sportsdrome championship to his name. You got the number 6 machine of cousin Chris Harmon, the 52 of Jeremy Vanderhoof, the 59 of Pat Pierce, the 86 of Ronnie Basham. Buddy Vertrees has returned to the Speedrome in the number 41, along with RDB Ware in the 38. Then you got the number 28, another rookie, Jeffrey Shackelford, number 28 machine. Jeff Harmon finishes out the Harmon family triptych here in the 16H. Then you're going to have the Water Boy starting in the 17th position, the 80 machine of Donnie Murphy, the 83G of Washington State's own Zach Larson out there on the grid in that beautiful 83G machine, fluorescent orange Tiger Stripe ride. Then the 21 of Mike Riddle Jr. starts 19th. 20th position, it's going to be Brandon White in the 12. What a comeback story that one is, from hospital to the racetrack. The 29C of Bobby Corbin, the 3rd out there. The 91 of Chad Sizemore. Charlie Hargraves in the 74. Doug Gregg in the 33, trying for yet another one in the record books. The 42 of Nick Moore. The G4 of Donnie Garrigus, the 4th. The 77 of his father, Donnie Garrigus, the 3rd, after swapping engines and coming out to last-minute qualifying and a bonsai run to bump his way into the field. And your final qualifier here on the starting grid, the 28th position, Matt Smith in the number 87. Already alternate standing ready, the C4 of Calvin Crane out there at the on-track gate, and the 1W of Dennis Wisman. Again, for those of you new to this race here, just checking in at Low Budget TV, we will be adding alternates as cars drop out. Now, if you're looking in the stands and saying, hey, I remember this thing was packed wall to wall, 10 feet tall before, all right, here's also the word I got from the folks here at Low Budget. You folks on Facebook and otherwise, you're seeing the free preview about 15 minutes into this race, the start of this race. You're getting freebie. If you want to check it out, get the whole thing, log on to lowbudget.tv. But again, you get about 15 minutes free. The rest of it's going to be paid for, folks. That's the way it works. It's just like any good drug there. We're going to get your first taste free. On the pole, there they are, weaving back and forth. The 29 machine. What a story for that Shelbyville Auto Parts sponsored. Number 29 of Tommy St. John, too. Everybody here knows the St. John name. If you're in figure eight racing, if you're anywhere in the Midwest, you know the St. Johns. Whether it's Mikey, whether it's Kenny, or maybe it's Tommy, the old man there, the 3 St. John brothers that built and raced cars throughout the Midwest, all through the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Maybe it's even their dad, Marvin St. John, but now the newest member of the family, Tommy St. John, is starting his first 3-hour champion. His uncles have what, about 7 championships to them in the 3-hour, plus multiple Speedrome championships, plus multiple other championships in figure eight racing. So here we are, we've got the starting grid on the track right now. St. John, though, with the pole, 16.072, not quite a track record. Again, you folks that watching at home, watching our computers, you get the first 15 minutes free, but after that taste, you're going to pay for the rest. We'll get you hooked, but then we got you good. So keep that in mind. We'll be giving you a bit of a freebie here to kick things off. Again, I'll be doing the calling for both here at the track and for the folks on Low Budget. But the sun just setting in the west after a long, long weekend of nothing but ugly rain. It's great to have y'all back. Y'all ready for figure eight racing out there? We thank you for being on board with us here. Put your money
Come on,
down
everybody. Let's get up on your feet and let's root them on. Let's sew these pits pumping. Come on, folks. Everybody around the track. I need everybody on your feet. This is what we've been waiting for all weekend long. Let me hear you scream.
One of the issues we're actually negotiating right now is getting everybody in their proper starting position. Now you notice the 29 of Tommy St. John technically did what's called a bit of a flip-flop. He's going to take that inside lane. So we're going to try and get these guys lined up here in their proper starting positions. They've all earned it through qualifying and now trying to get them lined up. So again, you folks new to this one, whether you be here at the track or on the worldwide on the internet, here's the way it works. We go 3 hours worth of racing. Now, sometimes we'll be racing under yellow type situations. We'll keep the clock running then. We'll only stop the clock for red flag situations. Other than that, the clock runs during yellow flags. We'll bunch them up and follow the pace car. The pits will be open during the racing events. They will, however, be open there for you to go pit at your own risk. We're no obligation to wait for you to come back out again. So keep that in mind. The pits will be open during this one. The pits come into play. This is one chance for the crews to actually have a role in this one. We go 3 hours. As cars drop out and we think they're done for good, we will add alternates, add more cars to fill the field. 40+ cars came in and got qualified. We've got 19 alternates. Chance to come out and get some laps in tonight. Now keep in mind, traditionally the alternate position is where you want to be if you want to have that big award, the extra award for picking up the Sonny Thompson Memorial Award for most improved position. So there's going to be a few things you're not used to in quote-unquote normal racing, but then this ain't normal, is it? This is the figure 8. This is a tradition that goes back to the years just after World War II, when the boys came home with all their skills, learned how to work on tanks and ships and planes, and they decided what to do. We're going to build stock cars. We're going to go racing. We're going to have fun. And we started doing things like stock car racing, and then we started doing figure 8 racing and demo derbies. And this one caught on with a bunch of folks, and we're having fun with it ever since. A lot of people claim that it started here at the Speedrome in 1948. Well, I tell you what, we definitely embraced it here. We started this race in 1977. It continues to this day, the 42nd annual Shelby Materials World Championship 3-hour figure 8 endurance race here at Indianapolis. And we welcome everybody from coast to coast and around the world here to be part of the fun. We welcome our fans here in the stands at the Indianapolis Speedrome. We welcome the crews there, making things happen. Looks like already getting one of the alternates ready at the gate, should the call come, and that is going to be the C4 of Calvin Crane. So again, set you up for the field. Your pole sitter is going to be the 29 machine of Tommy St. John, the rookie on the pole. Amazing, amazing. But he's already proven his ability to run this 8. And if you haven't seen it, it takes more than just the ability to go fast. It takes more than just the ability to make the turns. You have to be able to negotiate that crossover. And whatever it is in his genes, I tell you what, he's got a double sack full, because Tommy St. John, too, has been proven an ace already judging that crossover. This is biggest field. For all these guys, it's rare to have more than about 12 cars on the field at a time. These guys are going to be starting out with 28. In the course of the event, there might be 35, 40 cars on the track at one time. All I know is getting ready to go green, and we're going to have some fun with it, folks. Welcome everybody on board. And here's some bad news, you folks here at the Speedrome stands. If you parked over the Zors lot, you maybe find yourself getting towed away. Just a little reminder. Speedrome and Zors used to be interstate. I guess we're not getting along these days. But again, if you should make sure you parked in a good, smart spot. You folks sitting at home watching on TV, you don't have to worry about that. You're getting a bit of a buy on that one. A bit of warm up, get some heat in these tires. Everybody's running on the same tire. The cars themselves, it's what they build, it's what they buy. For the most part, all these bodies are hand built. Folks basically cut the slabs of sheets of sheet steel, cut them out of aluminum, form them out of roofs, whatever they got. We're getting ready closer to green, closer to green. Watch for the fireworks. The pace truck is off the field. Pace truck is off the track. It'll be used out later on. I believe it's going to be Curtis McMurtry, former champion of this event, former Speedrome champion as well, going to be driving the pace truck. Tommy St. John on his rookie run on the up throw from the pole. alongside a many-time front row starter, multiple championships, Ben Tunney in the 5, coming down the green. Watch for fireworks on the track, watch for fireworks in the sky. Tommy Ellis has the green flag waving, and here we go. Green flag waves, and the start of the race, the start of the World Championship 3-hour figure 8 endurance race, as fireworks light the sky and the cars light the track. C4 Calvin Crane is snuck out early on, a miscommunication there by the folks on track gate. Gets an early start for Calvin Crane. He's going to go a lap down, but this is going to be a great jump for him. Trying to stay on the lead lap now. This could be an interesting one. If we get an alternate on the lead lap, I don't think that's happened in a long, long time, but no, St. John immediately eclipsing and getting around the C4 of Crane through the north end. It's going to be St. John leading the opening laps on this run here. As we get into it, the clock has started. Clock will be running a small signboard there at the north end of the racetrack. And again, about 15 minutes into it, we will be shutting down the free preview that you folks at home been watching on the internet. Tommy St. John leading the way. Ben Tunney for second place right now. Mike Hadley in the number 4 for third. After that, the 7 of Austin Tunney, the 3D of Steve Durham. A great run so far for Jesse Tunney in the 1. Crane is back up in front of the leaders. Crane in the C4 is back on the lead lap. This is a very significant first crossover action we got. It's Crane winning that battle there. Can Calvin Crane, one of the veterans, cut through and do the impossible? He does! Make it through again as the crossover starting to get busy. Mike Hadley in the lead now in number 4. Now remember, the C4 of Crane is actually staying barely on the lead lap, just ahead of your leader, the 4 of Mike Hadley. Mike Hadley Jr. is your leader, your defending champion, currently leading this one. Second place going to Austin Tunney, and Crane's trying to stay on the lead lap there. The first alternate snuck out. Holy cow, it's going to be Jesse Tunney driven up to the concrete. Dodges the bullet though. Crossover action, they make it through. Hargraves in the 74 goes down a lap. We've got a couple guys already getting lapped in this one. Leader still the number 4 machine. Leader's number 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr. Just ahead of the 7 of Austin Tunney. Third place held by the 29 Tommy St. John, and now Calvin Crane getting swallowed up as Doug Gregg is going to go down a lap early. The 41 of Buddy Vertrees leads the track with a flat right rear tire. Vertrees leaves early in the 41 machine again. I told you in the pit area, watch your step. We got cars coming through. Wild time! Holy cow! He makes it through, and Calvin Crane is going to stay on the lead lap. Already we're stopping hearts here at the Speedrome again, and it's Nick Moore checking up as Dennis Wisman makes his way out of the racetrack. And here comes Nick Moore, Doodle Ferris in the 48 added to the field. Calvin Crane is once again back on the lead lap. Your leader's number 7 machine of Austin Tunney being chased by number 4 of Mike Hadley, and here comes Mark Tunney. Fourth place goes to the 5 machine of Ben Tunney, battling with the 29 of Tommy St. John. And who'd have thunk it? Calvin Crane continues to maintain on the lead lap as they got crossover action. Then piled up in the turn. Pat Pierce is number 59, tangled up the G4 of Garrigus at the north end of the racetrack, turn 3 and 4 of the figure 8. If he can get him a red flag, a yellow flag, Crane is going to just survive. It is. Crane is going to survive it and stay on the lead lap. This could become important later. I've been talking about the C4 Calvin Crane. He is a lapped car, but now he's going to maintain it on the lead lap. And here's the tough part. A couple guys were passing the pace car. Could be something we have to straighten out later on. The big story right now, you're going to have the leader, the 7 of Austin Tunney, and the 3T of Mark Tunney, 1-2. As we bunch up the field again, fourth place is going to be the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., along with the 5 of Ben Tunney. Fifth is the 29 of Tommy St. John. As we got a little bit of shuffling there after the pace cars. May have to do a little shuffling here. A couple of guys being penalized possibly for passing the pace car. Keep an eye on what we're going to do with the 74 of Hargraves for one I saw. But again, what they can accomplish here, it's an early start. Clock does continue to run on these yellow flag laps. Clock runs and ticks on the yellow flag laps. But here's one of the stories already we'll keep tabs on is Calvin Crane, the C4, one of the veterans, one of the masters of figure 8 from down south, stays on the lead lap as an alternate. I don't think that's occurred in a long, long time in the history of this race. So that's going to be a story in itself right there. 7 machine of Austin Tunney, your leader. The 3 machine of Mark Tunney next to him, Ben Tunney in the 5. Then you got the 4 of Mike Hadley, your defending champion. After that, the 6 of Chris Harmon, the 29 of Tommy St. John. A little bit of shuffling back in the pack. The 1 of Jesse Tunney has been able to survive up there on the lead lap, along with the 3D of Steve Durham. Cory Harmon's number 17. The 16H of Jeff Harmon. Then the 83 of Zach Larson. The Washingtonian is still on the lead lap. And Vertrees gets the flat tire change. Crew gets him back out here quickly. I don't think he lost more than about 1 lap or so. But Vertrees did, I believe, may have lost a lap in the pit area, but great pit work on his crew. A half lap for Armour is actually going to end up costing him, as Jeff Armour took a half lap to join the field instead of going around. He could have actually picked up He's just going to be starting his lap now for Jeff Harmon, number 10. Keep that in mind. These little laps sometimes do come to count, as this is an endurance race going for the distance. Pace truck goes out of the way, and the field's back under the control of the Tunney boys. Mark Tunney in the 3T, his cousin Austin Tunney in the 7, then the Ben Tunney in the 5, Austin's brother, and Mike Hadley Jr. right behind your defending champion. And here we go, back up to the green, we get ready to go. Yes, they take the green once again. Field bunch up solid all behind them. And it's all coming into play right now. 2 minutes, 54 seconds into it. You still have about 10 free minutes left. You folks watching for free on Facebook. You folks watching for free on Facebook got about 10 minutes left to sign up and watch the rest of this show as Mark Tunney taking the lead now, bringing Ben with him. Austin there, no, still in a tight little bunch. It's not decided yet. They all want a chance to lead this race. All want a chance to get back in the record book. Harmon saying, whoa, a lot of smoke coming to the 59 of Pierce. We saw the contact early on. 59 of Pierce already at least one lap down. But Pierce showing a lot of smoke there. Pat Pierce, one of the fellas coming in from Sportsdrome down south, is in trouble. They're showing a lot of smoke there. We'll keep an eye on that one here early on. Scramble at the crossover has Jeff Smith's number 11 signing in and getting ready to sign out if he doesn't find a safe place to land. Look out, traffic right across the bow of 11 Smith as they're still a tight pack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cars deep for the lead pack as we add Artie Ware's number 38 make his way back out. Missed him leaving the track. He's back out on the track. This is still early in the event though. Starting to toss out some alternates, getting mixed up. Crossover action, tiptoe action. I don't believe it. Buddy Vertrees, the 41. I tell you what, he's not weighing as much now as he did at the start of this race. He lost about 5 pounds there on that one. Mark Tunney gets the 3 machine back up into the lead, along with the 5 of Tunney again through the crossover, has the action hot and heavy. Holy cow, there we go once again, splitting the difference. And what difference does it make? They all make it through. No, they're going to tiptoe now. Pat Pierce has to scramble, take a half lap. 91 of Sizemore makes it through. And Larson makes the 93 on through. And I tell you what, I lost track of all that fun stuff, but I'll back up to your leader. Still going to be the 3T of Mark Tunney. Check it through the crossover, through the crossover, through the crossover. Again, they make it. As it's scramble time, Ben Tunney noses out in front, barely in front of Mark Tunney with traffic. They got lap cars up in front, heavy traffic, crossover action. Zach Larson makes it through at the last minute in the 83 machine. Running out of lead lap cars already, down to about only 18 cars left on the lead lap. A blistering pace. Ben Tunney back up in front in the 5 now. Got the 6 machine of Harmon right behind him. Harmon's now battling for the lead on this one. Then you're going to have the 1 of Jesse Tunney as everybody making it through the crossover again. 3T of Mark Tunney again through the crossover on a mad, wild run through it. Doug Craig has to tiptoe through in the number 33 machine. And Zach Larson again defies all odds, makes through unscathed. I cannot believe it. I think he's dodged more bullets than we've ever seen Chuck Norris avoid. As we have got Zach Larson out there. Oh, Broadways, as the big machine Eric Warren goes sideways across the field. Chris Harmon, your leader now in the 6 machine. Chris Harmon has taken the point in the 6H machine ahead of Ben Tunney's number 5. After that, Jesse Tunney's number 1, and the field is starting to stretch out. It's 4th place held by the 7 of Austin Tunney, then the 3T of Mark Tunney, fading back. He could go back all the way. Mike Hadley gets around him. As we've got one of the wildest crossovers in the history of motor sports right now. Pat Pierce again, the master of the Diaz, cuts it on through. And oh man, you've only got about 5 minutes left to sign on to see the rest of this show for you folks out there in TV land. Oh, Pat Pierce again through the crossover on a busy gap. I can't believe they're making it through. Somebody check me in because they're ready to check out. Harmon still up in front, battling with Ben Tunney. Jesse Tunney now up to 2nd place in the number 1. It's going to be the 6 of Harmon, 1 of Jesse Tunney, 5 of Ben Tunney. After that, the 7 of Austin Tunney. Again, Pat Pierce. Where did he find that opening? I do not know. But I cannot believe this as we're down to 9 minutes into it. Again, Pat Pierce finds a gap. Oh, man, I tell you what. I've seen a gap that lucky and that well-paying since David Letterman's teeth. As we've got Pat Pierce up there cutting through the X like nobody's business. Leader is still going to be the Harmon in the number 6 machine. I've lost him in the pack. 2nd place is going to be the number 1 of Jesse Tunney, then the 5 of Ben Tunney. And this has been one of the wildest runs already. We're starting to get lap cars left, and right through the crossover goes Pat Pierce again. I tell you what, Pat Pierce better spend a lot of time talking to the preacher after this one because he's just about earned every blessing from every saint there ever was. Through the crossover again, Pat Pierce clips off the front of the 10 machine of Jeff Armour. Eventually, I know Luck was going to run out. He's got the back bumper now trailing. Look for the black flag on the 59 of Pat Pierce. He's got back pipes trailing out there. He almost ripped off the back bumper. Unbelievable. Pat Pierce finally had his ruck. Now to grin through the crossover, though. I think he scared Jeff Harmer, who is still coming the other way, a couple cars away, but scared him off. Going to add the double zero machine of Corey Turner. Pat Pierce again defying odds through the crossover. Oh, man, where'd they find a seat big enough to hold that set? As we got Pat Pierce all getting it done. Leader still the 6 machine of Harmon. I'll tell you, he's got battling now with number 1 of Jesse Tunney. All this action in the crossover made me lose contact of the leaders. The 1 of Jesse Tunney getting around the 6 of Harmon through traffic. They battle, they scrape, they slide. Austin Tunney getting up to 3rd place, still battling with Ben Tunney. And man, oh man, if you forgot your Xanax, you better be popping a couple right now, because you're going to need to get through the rest of this show. Just a few minutes left for your free preview on Facebook. Oh, close your eyes and don't blink, as the 1 machine of Jesse Tunney's got the lead now from the 6 machine of Chris Harmon. Chris Harmon doing a great job up in front. Crossover action again. Has the 41 of Vertrees, as we've got the 83 of Clark checked up on the backstretch. One of the prettiest cars we got in the track is now checked up. There it comes in. That splatter that didn't matter. It almost happened, but it did not. I thought for sure we were going to lose somebody on that pass. Doug Gregg again checked up. We got the C4 of Calvin Crane. Looped and hooked bumper. Somebody get a bucket and pour water on them. I think they're trying to make puppies out there. Crane gets clear. Here comes the 16 of Harmon. Gets clear as well. Jeff Harmon, but we've got the 87 of Matt Smith dead on the track. Look for the pace car to come out. Smith, it is an endurance race. It's an enduro, and that's it. We're going to have to go yellow. Matt Smith stalls it on the track. Jesse Tunney, your leader in the number 1, followed by the 6, Chris Harmon. Look for the pace truck, try to pick him up. Action so heavy that pace truck trying to get out there in front of the leaders. Now we bunch him up. Now we finally get the pace truck over there, trying to get ahead of Jesse Tunney. Whoa. Speedrome, y'all having fun out there? Unbelievable. You folks at home, I only got a minute or 2 left. Are you folks getting the free preview? Just a minute or 2 left. This is it. One last chance. You check it out for free. Check them out. Lowbudget.tv. Lowbudget.tv. Yes, you got to pay, but we've got 2 hours and 45 minutes of this still to go, and we're going to shut down the freebie and go all pay-per-view now, folks. You want to see the rest of this? You got 2 hours and 45 minutes of this left. So again, check that out. You folks here at the Speedrome, we're going to ease the 29 machine of Corbin, get him started again. We got Matt Smith rolling again. Getting the field checked up. Corbin is going to find a gap through. And again has stalled the number 29 machine. Corbin stalls again in the 29. He'll need a little kinetic assistance once again there on the backstretch, as the 29 of Corbin is stalled again. Again, clock continues to run down on the yellow flags. We only stop the clock on red flag situations. Keep that in mind, fans in the stands and playing at home. We only shut down the clock on red flag situations. Currently your leader, we'll run it down here for you real quick. Jesse Tunney in the number 1, followed by the number 6 of Chris Harmon. Chris Harmon from Sportsdrome. 3rd place goes number 7 of Austin Tunney. 4th place, the 5 of Ben Tunney. Then you got the 3T of Mark Tunney. Yes, 3 Tunney boys up in front. 4 Tunney boys up in front. Then 6th place, the number 4 of Mike Hadley Jr. 7th place is still the 3D of Steve Durham. 8th place, the 91 of Chad Sizemore. Then you got the 29 or 91 of Chad Sizemore, pardon me. Then the 29 of Thomas St. John. Cory Harmon still in hunt in the 17, followed by the C4 of Calvin Crane. There's one of the stories of the night. If Calvin Crane can pull off the ultimate upset. Never before has an alternate won this event, but Crane now could be positioning himself for just such a miracle. Bobby Corbin getting eased back in the pits again. Crew's going to have to come and pick him up there in the pit lane and get him back to his pit areas. The track truck will not push him all the way to his pit area. We try to get our track equipment back to the backstretch. Stand ready. Eyes alert there. Head on a swivel in the pit area. Getting ready to go back to green here in a second. Holding up the cars in the pit area. They don't get to come around until we get the cars going past. Keep that in mind. You pit at your own risk of delay. You pit at your own risk of being held up at the gate. It is already in the record book. We won't tell Bob Buchholz. Big reminder, you folks in the stands, if you parked across the street in the tow yard's lot, you will be towed. Do not park on non-Speedrome property. Those of you who parked over at the last chance slot over at Zohr's parking, those of you who parked over at Zohr's, you will get towed away. Those of you who parked over the Zohr's lot across the street, you will get towed away. The people in the stands, if you parked in the Zohr's lot across the street, you will get towed away. You must be in the Speedrome parking lots. They are all marked. You must be in the Speedrome parking lots. They are all marked. Folks will tow you away from that Zohr's parking lot across the street. They've already started towing. I know I bored you folks over playing at home on the low budget TV, but doing duo duty up here as the stands continue to fill up, fans continue to come in here. A few of them just now getting the memo. We are racing. A rain delay coming back in. It's canceled most of the festivities over the weekend. And Pat Pierce making his way back out. No, but immediately heading back there. Oh, he's got a flat right rear tire. Something wrong there. Pat Pierce came back on the track, and I tell you what, the heart stopper there immediately headed back to the pit area. We thank everybody for sitting through this one as we're getting ready for more fun here. 15 minutes into the race. 15 minutes into the race. 2 hours, 44 minutes, 27 seconds remain in the World Championship 3-hour figure eight endurance race. Anything can happen, and a lot of it has. As we've already seen a lot of fun. We thank everybody being with us here on the grounds and worldwide at lowbudget.tv. If you paid your money, you're still with me. If you didn't pay your money, you've lost your chance to play. So here you go. Some of the wildest figure eight action you can see. Chris Green returns the number 22 machine. Chris Green, the original Chris Green, back out. There's a fellow that can light up the track right there. Also got a couple of the, there's the number 28 of Jeffrey Shackelford, another one of the rookies. Two number 29s in this one. I've been talking about the 29. You see the SAP on the wings, Shelbyville Auto Parts. That is number 29 of Tommy St. John, your pole sitter. Pardon me, the 29 of Tommy St. John, your pole sitter. The other 29 is Bobby Corbin, as we do not go green just yet. The field all checking up. And got a little bit early start there. Stall, including the 28 of Shackelford, makes his way out. Your announcer was trying to keep track of about 20 different things at once. So the blue number 29 is Tommy St. John, your pole sitter, who's still in contention out there, running 9th right now. The other number 29, the black one with the brown on the colors, that is going to be Bobby Corbin coming in from Jeffreyville Sportsdrome. Holy cow again! As cars scrambling all over trying to get this one restarted, Corbin through the crossover. In the history of the 3-hour, we actually do have more than a few accidents and pileups during yellow flag situations. Now, one of the issues here, you may wonder why these guys don't just cut the half lap. They are scored by each pass over the start-finish line. So in order for these laps to count for them, they still must make their laps up. And now we get the 11 of Jeff Smith, the 22 of Chris Green, as we've got another stall out on the racetrack. The Circle City tire machine out there come to a stop. Is that the gentleman Jeff Shackelford again with another stall? Is having his share of problems out there for Shackelford, the 28, making his rookie run here. So again, your rundown, will give you a quick rundown of top 10. Calvin Crane, that alternate, is currently 10th place in the C4 machine. 9th place is Cory Harmon's number 17. 8th place is somewhere between the Chad Sizemore 3D of Durham. 3D of Durham, 7th. 4th place, Mike Hadley. 5th place, the 3T of Mark Tunney. 4th place, the 5 of Ben Tunney. 3rd place, the 7 car of Austin Tunney. 2nd place held by Chris Harmon, that 6th machine. And your current leader right now, your defending 2018 champion, Jesse Tunney here, the Indianapolis Speedrome, I should say, late model champion. Jesse Tunney holds on to the lead. Steve Frost being added to the field. Number 16 machine of Steve Frost. In his 28th World Championship, sits 4th on the tall chart of all-time starts. Again, it's hard to realize, tough to realize sometimes. 42 of these races run. I've been here for a whole bunch of them. My pleasure to be with you on the microphone for this one once again, folks. Welcome everybody here at the track, in the pits. Oh, as Frost gets his first run through the crossover. Frosty here, very limited appearances here the last couple seasons, but glad to have him with us here tonight. Give you an idea of some of the fastest laps we've seen so far. This is race laps. Keep in mind, Mark Tunney was tooling around, but managed to do a 17.128. Nobody really down the 16-second range for these race laps at this point. But some very good laps all the same. Green flag flies finally on this restart. Harmon back up in front ahead of Jesse Tunney's number 1 machine. Harmon's having a great run going so far. Can he hold together as we have the 77 of Garrigus back on board? The 77 of Garrigus 3. Son of a fellow that was in the very first one of these and father of a fellow that's also out there. As Harmon leads yet another lap, takes off another win in the lead for the Chris Harmon number 6 machine. Second place, Jesse Tunney. Third place, the 7 machine of Austin Tunney, as we are 2 hours 40 minutes into this event. Holy cow, one this time it's Jeff Armour's turn to be Mr. Excitement out there as he dares the crossover. Richie Arthur's 21A machine has been added to the field. Be a couple of 21 machines in this event. The 21 of Mike Riddle Jr. and also that white and blue numbered 21A of Richie Arthur. Jesse Tunney takes back the lead. The crossover gives the crossover. Take it away. It's going to be Jesse leading through that pass through the run there. As Chris Harmon hanging on to second place, battling now with Austin Tunney's number 7. Through the crossover, they all check up as they got the 16 ride of Jeff Harmon going right across their bow. That caused them all there to check up a little bit. Chris Harmon continued to hang tough there. Oh, tiptoe through the tulips as Dennis Wisman's number 1 has to dare things at the crossover. The 1 of Jesse Tunney back up in front. Second place goes to the 6 of Chris Harmon. Third place the 7 of Austin Tunney. Fourth place the 5 of Ben Tunney. Then you're going to have the 3T of Mark Tunney. A couple of lap cars getting intermixed there with the leaders, but it's a long way to go. Ben Tunney tangles with Wisman's number 1, cuts inside the marker, comes to a stall, going to try and keep it running. Now he's going to try to get on the track, get his own red flag. Can he get it? No, he cannot. We got Austin Tunney's number 7 dead at the crossover. Green flag stays lit. Here they come piling on. And that's it. We go yellow as everybody piles in on the field. One fellow that's going to come through, stay on the lead lap, I do believe is going to be Calvin Crane, that C4 machine. As we pile up, Ben Tunney getting saved. He's going to go down a lap, I do believe. They start running into the pits now. Logsdon, Josh Logsdon had joined us. He's over there getting in the pits. Left sitting at the crossover, the 7 of Austin Tunney. Leader's going to be the 1 of Jesse Tunney, then the 6 of Chris Harmon. No, take it back. There's going to be Chris Harmon in the 6th, the 1 of Jesse Tunney. We know those two are up there. The 3T of Mark Tunney hangs on to 3rd. 4th is going to be the 4 of Mike Hadley, and we're thinning the field now. The 7 of Austin Tunney with damage comes to a stop right at the crossover. The 42 of Nick Moore at a stop at the crossover. Ben Tunney in the pits now, getting some frantic work over there. As we check on the 7 of Austin Tunney, crewmen, keep your eyes peeled there. Everybody head on a swivel in the pit area. Oh man, the 42 of Quick Nick Moore out with damage, checks up underneath. Crew trying to get quickly over to check in what's going on with the Austin Tunney number 7. See what's up with him. Nick Moore already got a cigarette going. I tell you what, there's no time like Marlboro time when you're at the races. That's one of the reasons we can't broadcast it. Checking out the crossover action. See it getting wild there early on through the crossover. Here comes Austin Tunney. Coming in late in the middle of all this, we've got the 16 of Harmon checked up, and now the field comes through. Tunney in the 7 machine clashes in the back end of the 16 machine of Harmon. Jeff Harmon, he's then stalls out, and everybody starts piling on from there and going wild. So initial problem there, Jeff Harmon's number 16H stopped at the crossover. Austin Tunney collects him, and then it all goes south from there. Meanwhile, at the same time, over at the other end, you had Ben Tunney working his own little way around. We see the contact once again, you folks are watching low budget TV. Austin Tunney there taking a solid hit, well-built bumper. I got to give him credit there, but it looks like the shocker there stalled him. Hopefully they can get that fixed back on the track. He is losing laps, however, dropping down further into the lap count. Yellow flag laps do count here. 51 laps completed so far. 2 hours 36 minutes off the clock. As Last Chance Record Service taking care of Austin Tunney, getting back in the pit area. Also the 42 of Nick Moore. Those two going to have to get some work done, see if they can get it back out here in time for more fun and games. Don't see anybody present to the pits again. I see a couple kids there romping back there in the pit area. Please keep your children collected up. Slow children become hood ornaments here at the Indianapolis Speedrome during 3-hour weekend. As the field getting set once again, and here's what we got for the leaderboard. The 6 machine of Chris Harmon up in front, followed by the 1 of Jesse Tunney. The 3 of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 3D of Steve Durham, the 29 of Tommy St. John, Calvin Crane in the C4 machine on the lead lap, and 7th place, Calvin Crane in the C4. Keep tabs on that story there. The 17 of Cory Harmon also on the lead lap. And that is it. I've got 8 cars on the lead lap, 52 laps into it. 1 lap down, you can have the number 12 machine of Brandon White. 2 laps down, the number 87 of Matt Smith and the number 80 of Donnie Murphy. After that, everybody else 3 or more laps down. So your top 10, then 2 laps of the leaders, but here we go. 8 cars left on the lead lap. That includes the first alternate, Calvin Crane. One to go signal this time by for the field. 1 to go signal going to the field from Curtis McMurtry, former champion of the World Championship 3-hour figure endurance race. Yep, looks like they're not ready to go just yet. A couple guys getting scrambled here. We'll see what happens. See if they're ready to roll. The 31 of Bobby Whitaker making his way out here. One of the most watched Speedrome videos that don't involve people hitting each other with their fists or throwing chairs involve Bobby Whitaker smacking into the turn 1 wall over there, turn 1 of the oval, turn 3 of the 8, right by the gate. And he doesn't like being known for that highlights tape, but that actually still leaves a couple marks. Harmon charges to the green flag. And we're green flag go once again. 6 machine of Harmon holding on the lead, putting an extra lap as Ricky Schaefer in the 03 joins the field. In the stock body 03 machine for the Fireboy is out with us now. Chop Shop Motorsports ready to roll for us here as Harmon up in front, Chris Harmon, pardon me, up in front in the 6 machine. Trying to pull away now, get a bit of advantage. This is where you start trying to play rabbit. You get the field thinned out a little bit, play the rabbit on it, try to get that advantage, get some lap cars between you and the back other markers there. See if you can make it happen, see what you can make it happen. Putting another lap on the 28 Shackelford. He's been struggling to keep going on this one. Durham now battling for the lead. Steve Durham taking the lead. Steve Durham up in front. Where'd this come from? Steve Durham from deep takes the top spot, and Steve Durham, the 3D machine, takes the lead. And now it's his turn to try and charge it through the field. He beats the crossover. Chris Harmon, the 6 machine, goes back to 2nd place. Jesse Tunney's number 1 is into 3rd. 4th place held by the 3T of Mark Tunney as Steve Durham gets a tick off a couple laps, put his name in the record book here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Oh, Schaefer in the 03 was Mr. Decision time as Jeff Armour there is also getting a little tight run through the crossover. Stalled out on the backstretch. The 83 machine is Zach Larson. Then the 11 of Jeff Smith. The 32 Shiner Sutton has joined the party. As we're starting to run out of alternates already, run through the alternate field. Larson is running in the 83. I don't know if he's just looking for a soft place to land or what, but Larson at number 83 is one of those fellas stalled out in the backstretch as Durham in the 3D continues to lead and stretch out the advantage through the crossover right behind the Calvin Crane C4. The 99 machine of Tim Logan's got the right idea. If you're going to make a half lap, make sure you go across the stripe or you might have be scored for it. The number 1 of Wisman is tangled up the 21A of Richie Arthur on the backstretch. As we got Durham, tip him through. Holy cow, he found a hole that wasn't there before, but makes it count. The 1 machine of Jesse Tunney into 2nd place. 3rd place goes to the 3T of Mark Tunney. 4th place is now going to be the 6 of Harmon, who swings wide. He's got Shiner Sutton to avoid. 38 of Artie Ware struggling back there. Artie Ware down to 16th right now in the running order for those of you playing at home. Still got tangled up as Steve Durham now opening up a bit of advantage. Biggest advantage we've seen the whole run. What kind of laps are we getting out of this one is what I'm going to need to find out. Need to double check here if maybe that's an accurate count here that he is the lead is being shown on my board. But I'm wondering now if maybe we did indeed have a lap correction. Durham actually was just getting back on the lead lap. I do believe we're correcting that one now. So again, a correction on the order. I apologize to everybody on board. I saw Durham bust through. I did not keep tabs on, but looks like there may be a scoring issue to correct here. A scoring issue to correct. I believe the Durham machine trying to sort this one out. On the backstretch, you got the 1 machine of Dennis Wisman tangled up with the 21 of Richie Arthur. We do have the 3D of Durham as your leader. Double checking with the scoring department now. Chance for scoring team to get this one sorted back up again. And out on the track, I do believe we have our final qualifier. The 32 of Greg Sloan, the final alternate, makes it onto the track. may have a penalty here for passing the pace car. We'll double check, see what we're going to do on this one, as somebody may have got a little aggressive there on overtaking the pace car, as in passing it entirely. We'll see what's going to happen here. The pace car gone over in the driver's meeting ahead of time, and been part of the tradition here. The pace car picks up the leaders. You don't pass them. It is chaotic. We understand it's short track scrambling racing. Again, if you need to do a tweet out, I'll try to get in there and get them fit in as best we can. LBTV _ racing. LBTV _ racing. There we go. Hey, Kaylee. Kaylee, you might want to keep it clean there on the picture, though. But Mike brought you out here. Welcome to the Speedrome. Connie Bruner coming on board. He's cheering on Chris Harmon. I got a Chris Harmon fan out there. Chris not doing bad at all, holding on to 4th place right now. Again, live here, Matthew. Let's go, Chris and Jeff Harmon. Already Ware, Bobby Corbin. Always watch out for Doodle Ferris. Yes, that's a good warning. That may be why he's not allowed around schools anymore. Yes, sir, Bob. Again, I'm reading off the tweets here. Racing, nobody ain't got nothing for those T8 race cars. Yes, indeed, from the Kodak Kid 43. The T8 machines, the Tunney boys, definitely fast. Appreciate everybody on board. There we go. Oh, we're going to add Ben Tunney now. Connie Bruner there, adding on Ben Tunney along with the Jeffersonville Sportsdrome. There we go. Mark and Ben now. Okay, Buck Owens. Okay, let's go Team Sportsdrome. Wow. I'm not sure who Bissinger is. Okay, let's go Ronnie Basham 3, number 86. Yep. Ronnie Basham struggling so far, trying to get back on the lead lap. Scott LaRock cheering on the 3T and the 38. So a Tunney Ware group out there. Run your quick rundown what we got. Oh, no, good luck for Buddy Vertrees. Yep, Buddy Vertrees putting on a bit of a show. Hold on to 18th spot right now. Kimberly Dodd. Tabor Klingel-Smith, the Klingel-Smith family. Down south, let's go Artie Ware and Aaron Brandon White. Let's see some racing in boys and girls. Okay. I heard Tony Stewart is there with Kevin Harvick. No, we do, however, have Rick Smits from the Indiana Pacers. Has been a longtime Speedrome fan of all things. He actually wanted to be a race car driver, but his NBA contract wouldn't allow it. Let's see. C4 is the greatest of all time. I got to agree. I tell you what, Calvin Crane, an alternate, 7th place right now for Calvin Crane in that C4. That could be a story to come into play here. He has worked his way, stayed tough on the lead lap. So here we go, quick rundown on lead lap cars. The 1 of Jesse Tunney, the 3D of Steve Durham, the 3T of Mark Tunney, the 6 of Chris Harmon, the 4 of Mike Hadley, the 17 of Cory Harmon, the C4 of Calvin Crane, and that is it. Calvin Crane, the C4 is your last car on the lead lap. Here's the problem. Basically, we got the Wisman number 1 and the 21 of Arthur wedged so tightly together, having trouble prying them apart. Now, officially, our officials can pull them apart, yank them apart, make a wish if you like, and the biggest piece wins. But we tried to do so without any further damage to the cars, but we may end up just having to give a good old solid yank and let the pieces fall where they may. So again, the track officials trying to get things separated out there without having to do anything. Also, a bit of a sorting hat action going on over there. So again, your lead lap cars, keep tabs, those of you playing at home, lead lap cars, Jesse Tunney in the 1, Steve Durham in the 3D, the 3T of Mark Tunney, the 6 of Chris Harmon, Mike Hadley Jr. in the 4, the 17 of Cory Harmon, and the C4 of Calvin Crane. 1 lap down, the 12 of Brandon White. 2 laps down, the 80 of Donnie Murphy and the 87 of Matt Smith. After that, you got everybody a couple laps off the pace, so keep that in mind. Already, field stretched out. 68 laps completed so far. About 2.5 hours, or about, 2.5 hours remain, about 2 hours, 26 minutes remain in this event. A couple old race drivers and crew members out there helping guide the cars, get them separated out there. So I recognize Mark Morello, who's a fabricator and part of the Speedrome crew. Gary Garrick is also out there. Tammy Lewis saying, hey, let's go Harmons. That's a comment. Paige French. Calvin is showing why he always deserves to be in the show. Unfortunately, what happened in qualifying, but you can't hold the C4 back. Hey, Jim French and company. I'm bragging on you, folks. I'm on your side on this one. I've been a Crane fan for a couple of years now. Again, for you folks here at the stands wondering why we sometimes seem to be talking to ourselves, that's because we are following the action here on the low budget TV program and simultaneously broadcasting you folks, keep you advised what's going on. This is when you start deciding which one of the group you can afford to lose the most to go fetch you a cold drink from the stands. Now this is bad. I think we're sending out the cops now. This could be rough here. I'm not sure. We've got the last chance record service on the scene. We now got the police officers going out. Maybe this is what they mean by arrested development. I'm not sure what's developing out there, but send the Speedrome security crew out there to get them separated now. I think I could put the microphone on him here from over here. It's okay, boys, break it up. Break nothing to see here, boys. Let's move along, boys. Let's move along, boys. Okay, that's what's going on here. Couple champing at the bit there, waiting to be added to the field there. So they went and made the pit stops. And these early breaks. Now keep in mind, still early in the race, plenty of time to make up laps. If you drop out early, there's still plenty of time to make it up. Again, the goal here is to separate these guys as best we can without doing further damage. Obviously, they still want to get out there and make their laps. They're both already down, but still they want to get laps like as anybody else. So get ready here. Stand by, folks. We are actually going to stop the clock for a second so we can get these guys separated cleanly. We are getting ready to go red here in just a second. We're going to bring them around nice and stately there and bring to a stop and bring them. We're not going to bring them to the grid, but keep them in line here. We are going to go red here and stop the action so we get these guys broke apart. The gate will be shut when we go red flag, and there will be no cars allowed out to rejoin the field. We will stop them, though, not go to the grid and waste time there. But the clock will be stopping here. And try to get everybody through. Now, I will point out there's a precedence in the history of Speedrome to actually go green again like this. It's not something we like to discuss all the time, but it is a possibility. And we are red. The clock has stopped. We are red. The clock has stopped. If you've been holding it, folks, there's a good chance to go to the bathroom right now. Just letting you know. We paid for those extra porta potties. Now's your chance. Track crew able to concentrate, getting these cars separated without doing further damage. They won't lose more laps. As we try to get these separated again, part of the problem is the one machine of Wisman's got his suspension there caught up, trying to avoid doing any more damage to the right front corner. And it looks like we have, let's see, another fan, Brittany Stewart cheering on Brandon White. And we got them separated. There we go. Send Wisman on around. Damage right front bumper, but it looks like no suspension damage, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Ditto for Arthur. No further damage on the 21A of Arthur. And they'll be rejoining the field on the tail end if they're ready to keep on racing. So here we go. The rookie Richie Arthur and the veteran Dennis Wisman going back out. Officers got it broke up, and we're going to pull the field away here, start the clock up here in just a sec. Again, while the red flag is out, the gates are shut. Ben Tunney starting to roll around the pit area. I believe he may attempt to come back out. I'm not sure what the game plan is. Ben Tunney, he is way down in the scoring right now. Lost a lot of laps. A little reminder there to the on-track gate, keeping the gate closed. Again, when we go green, the gates will open. Already a couple guys getting racy back in the pack, including Greg Sloan, the 32. So we hold up the traffic at the on-track gate. Pulling the grid away now. The clock has not yet started. The clock has not yet started. Clock will start again at the appearance of the green flag. The clock will start again at the appearance of the green flag. So this means we're going past 11 o'clock now. Let's see, LGBT. Tammy Lewis tweet out one more time that there are laps in this race. Just kidding. Oh, okay, yep, that's true. Tammy Lewis is on top of things, Scott. Olivia Devoy, good luck and love from your family in Lexington. To Calvin Crane. More Calvin Crane fans out there. Man, oh man. We're going to start the Calvin Crane revolution. I'll tell you what. Danielson. Ronnie Batch should have stayed home. Mark Tenney going to win. Now, it ain't over till the fat lady sings, and she hasn't even started warming up yet. Look for the clock to start here at the drop of the green. Steve Durham in the 3D machine. Jesse Tunney in the 1. Mark Tunney in the 3T. The 6 of Chris Harmon. And there's your defending champion, Mike Hadley, right up there. So also Cory Harmon and Calvin Crane rounding out your lead lap cars. Top 4 head to the stripe. Do not get this green. Do not get the green. They do not get the green. Everybody was scrambling there before the drop of the green. Clock has not yet started. A few guys playing games back in the pack. For those who want to try to figure out what's going on, a few guys back in the pack bunching up, passing there in the restart lineup, trying to get that straightened out. Clock has not yet started from that red flag condition. Again, we usually will go to the grid, as we call it. Greg Sloan in the 32, the lone full stocker. We'll call that bomber style left in the event. Traditionally, this race would have, oh, maybe a dozen or so bomber type cars coming from all over. Guys coming in to have some fun, some of our locals, etc. But only one willing to play the game here this time out. We lose the 29. It was that, lost track of that, was Corbin or the 29 of St. John. I believe we may have lost both of them at this point. Had high hopes for Tommy St. John. Tommy too looking so good in the preliminaries, but fading quickly there. Still having a very clean race for him. Field looking good. Look for the green flag this time by, and the clock to start once again. And at that point, they will allow the folks in the pit area to come back out. Field lines up. They see Tommy Ellis's green flag, and there we go. Back to racing we go. Durham gets his nose out in front in that 3D machine, being chased all the way by the 6 of Harmon, the 1 of Jesse Tunney, and the 3 of Mark Tunney, and the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr. Doug Gregg returns to the track, as does the 74 machine of Charlie Hargraves. They both peel away. 3 wide through the crossover. Harmon in the 6 machine challenging once again for the lead of this one. It ain't over till it's over, and now it's Harmon back up in front, but they've got Greg Sloan stopped to the crossover. Here comes the whole field. They're going to slot around. They all get around Greg Sloan for the moment, who stays stopped and is still stalled. Greg Sloan is still there looking for a gap at the crossover. A spin back in the pack as the yell comes out. The 16 of Frost has spun. Oh. So the 32 machine of Sloan there comes to a stop at the crossover. Everybody scrambles. And a couple guys getting penalized once again for passing the pace car. Keep in mind, we'll be noting here a couple times, 70 and 28. The 70 of Sloan, the 28 of Shackelford going to be penalized, given a pit stop there for passing the pace car. Again, attention to the pit area. Remind your drivers, do not pass the pace car. We will be sending the pit area as a penalty. And that's a problem in the years past. We were trying to fix that one. We are going to send the 28 of Shackelford in the pit area for passing the pace car. Damage already. A couple of cars starting to get see some of the walking wounded. Again, we're going to have a black flag that's into the pits there for the 28 of Shackelford. I believe the 70 of Sloan, another one being penalized. The clock continues to tick down as we try to send 2 cars to the pit area for passing the pace car. 70 of Sloan, and Shackelford did not quite understand the concept. Tradition of this race used to include cars running around with absolutely no bodies left attached. Shackelford, and I don't think understands. We'll try once again to get his attention. Reminder going out, competitors, make sure you got the hood on the cars. I guess they're requiring hoods on the cars now. Try to see what's going on with that one. Again, we welcome you all back here. 2 hours and 19 minutes remain. 2 hours and 19 minutes remain in the World Championship 3-hour figure endurance race. Another yellow flag, this time for the stalled car of Greg Sloan. Causing a big pileup and slowing down the activities. One of the requirements of this event is that hood must be covering the engine at all times. The hood must be covering the engine at all times for the safety of the driver. So a couple of the guys coming out without their hoods didn't read that part of the rule book, and neither did I. Oh, wow, what an amazing race, yee. Glad you're having fun out there. Jesse Earls on board with us here at LBTV_racing. Here we go, back to green, the 6 machine of Harmon, the 3D of Durham, the 4 of Hadley, the 1 of Jesse Tunney, the 3T of Mark Tunney. Cory Harmon getting his nose in there. Cory Harmon, I lost track of him. Back on the lead lap for Cory Harmon, along with the C4 of Calvin Crane. Oh, they pile up there, going into turn 3. Up in the air goes Armour's number 10 machine. Oh man, they climbed onto that one like a drunk lady at the VFW hall. Oh, wow, everybody got a piece of that one. Through the crossover action, through all of this, everybody, and I tell you what, he's out of the way. They're going to let him sit there. Schaefer's 03 gets rolling again from the crossover as Harmon up in front in number 6. Jeff Harmon back in control in the 6 car, but he's got Mike Hadley, the 2017 champion. Busy crossover. Mark Tunney now trying to make his way up to the front. Haven't seen Mark though gets collected up, and they pile up right behind him. Everybody piles up into turn 3 of the 8. Doug Gregg in damage, and we go back to yellow once again. Doug Gregg's major problems there for Doug Gregg's number 33. We got him piled up, including the 80 of Murphy, the 99 of Logue. Trying to identify some of the Chris Green's number 22's in the middle of that mix. Here's what it is. We're actually going to wave the cars underneath the marker. This is one time where you can go underneath the marker. The officials are going to wave them underneath. The 12 of Brandon White. Holy cow, what is this? Cory Harmon going for a little get back? I hope not. Cory Harmon in the 17 also in that mix. Now, we'll see if he's going to go down a lap or not. The appearance of that yellow, see if that will save him. Harmon in the 17, body damage. Oh, there goes the left rear. All the rubber just peeled off of Harmon. Cory Harmon's 17C machine. Cory Harmon just had the rubber peel off his left rear tire. He's going to head for the pit area, obviously, trying to stay on the lead lap. I don't know if it's going to work or not. as we got everybody blocked off over there. We're going to direct the field underneath the marker, underneath the pileup. This lap will not count as a penalty. It's not be counted as a penalty. We have lost the 17 to Cory Harmon. Heads in the pit area. And since somebody will get the rubber back on. I'll tell you what, there's nothing worse for a speedromer on a race night than having the rubber fall off. That carries a lot of meaning for some. But there we go, pile up there as they go into turn number 3 of the figure 8. One car goes sideways and everybody else just piles on, including number 17 of Harmon, the 80 machine of Murphy, the 99 of Logue, as the pace track has him back under control. The 6 machine of Chris Harmon back up in front. Mike Hadley Jr. second place in the 4 machine. Then you got the Jesse Tunney number 1. Take another look at this pile up here, this wild run. Mark Tunney through the high side, trying to take the control of the lead there. Goes sweeping way up high, gets too high, gets clipped by the 0 machine of Logsdon. He goes brushing into the wall. Right behind Logsdon, goes on around, and that's it. After that, it just got silly stupid after that. They all pile in. Everybody gets a piece of it, including Calvin Crane, though. One of the fellas dodging the bullet, and Crane up to 6th place now. C4 is dynamite tonight. Your lead lap cars now as they stand. Here's how it goes, folks. Listen up. Your lead lap cars right now. The 6 of Chris Harmon, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 1 of Jesse Tunney, the 3D of Steve Durham, the 3T of Mark Tunney, and the C4 of Calvin Crane still on the lead lap. After that, right now, so far, 1 lap down, the 17 of Cory Harmon, the 12 machine of Brandon White, 2 laps down, the 87 of Matt Smith, and 2 laps down, the 80 of Donnie Murphy. And that's your top 10 right now. Unofficially, of course, the best call as we can make it going here. Watching for the 17. Whoa, that's Murphy going around trying to... There's Harmon back out again just in time. So Cory Harmon just avoiding a bit of a bullet there. He's just going to be 1 lap down. So the 17 of Harmon will be 1 lap down. We may be looking towards some pit stops possibly here for some leaders. We'll keep tabs. 81 laps completed so far in about 45 minutes worth of racing. But I tell you what, that's 81 tough laps already. This is basically the attrition part of the field. We start trying to thin it out. Your lead lap cars again. The cars still on the lead lap. Only 6 remain. The 6 of Chris Harmon, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 3D of Steve Durham, the 1 of Jesse Tunney, the 3T of Mark Tunney, and Calvin Crane C4. Get ready to go back to green here in just a little bit. The 48 of Doodle Ferris returns for the Wright Mechanical Squad. Bobby Corbin is still out there for the Kentucky Clutch fans. Major damage on the back end of Cory Harmon. May want that tire back, I believe. That might just be able to remount that one and save some money. Oh, uh-oh, problems now with the C4 of Calvin Crane has stalled it, trying to get it rolling. Holy cow, here comes the field as Crane trying to get it rolling again. Oh man, Calvin, don't do this to me. And Crane is in the pits now. Calvin Crane has to go in the pits. Heartbreak for one of the cars that's holding on to a lead lap spot, but now he'll go in the pit area and get some work. You see the crew over there waiting for him back there. Calvin Crane, the C4 machine, into the pit area. He will go down 1 lap this next time by. This is going to be a costly one. Yellow flag, though, conditions may prevail. See what happens. But field maybe come around to green this time by. They tried to go green last time, and yep, the green flag is ready to roll. Crane will be hurt by this yellow flag, by this pit stop. Oh, they give him the 1 to go signal. So 1 lap down for Crane as they bunch it up right behind. Oh, man. Big scramble. Everybody getting hungry as they're all trying to eat the big meal here tonight. 20,000 up for grabs. And I tell you what, we were looking, if everybody wanted to complain about the rain, putting the Thunder cars up there, they'd run for 20,000 all day long. So your lead lap cars now, the 6 of Chris Harmon, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 1 of Jesse Tunney, the 3D of Steve Durham, and the 3T of Mark Tunney. 1 lap down, Brandon White's number 12, Cory Harmon's number 17, and now going down 2 laps is going to be Calvin Crane C4. Heartbreak for me and the other Calvin Crane fans out there. Chris Harmon back up in front in the 6 machine. Then you got the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., Jesse Tunney's number 1, the 3D of Durham still hanging tough, the 3T of Mark Tunney. There you go, top 5, your lead lap cars all in a bunch, all up in front. At this point, the leaders don't want to lose sight of each other. They're going to try and keep each other in contact Not worried about getting all the lead laps, but they do want to make sure they don't lose contact with the other fellas that are running in that lead pack. Also, there's safety in numbers sometimes. It's like a school of fish. When you see the sharks, sometimes you get bigger schools, you're going to survive on through. That's what these guys are hoping for. Mike Hadley up in front now. Mike Hadley takes the point. Crossover action! As Cory Harmon squeezes on through. Remember, Cory Harmon is just one lap off the pace and trying to hang up with him, trying to get back with him there. As we got the 16 of Steve Frost. Got problems at the crossover. He is stalled out. Got Eric Warden up there. Eric Warden's, oh, I believe Eric Warden, holy cow, has lost major parts of the body. He cuts inside the marker, but Warden rolling again there. Getting called for a cut tire penalty, and now the crossover getting ugly, ugly busy. The 70 of Sloan is stalled. The 28 of Corbin right behind him. 80 of Murphy tiptoeing through, as is the 16 of Frost. Everybody trying to make it on through the crossover, including the 17 to C of Cory Harmon. The 22 of Chris Green takes a little half lap through the infield, cuts the entire north end of the racetrack there, and slowly, I believe he may even missed the marker. He did. Nope. Chris Green, though, missed the whole north end of the racetrack with that scramble. Doug Gregg struggling in the 33. In and out of the pits all day long here. Holy cow, Hadley still got a lot of crossover to deal with. In the number 4 machine, your 2017 champion there, trying to stay with the big boys. Gamely staying with him, though. The 83 machine of Zach Larson. Had a chance to talk about our Washington Stater as the Evergreen folks are represented here. Zach Larson holding on to an 11th position right now, but falling down a couple laps. Right now he's on survival mode. He's still got a long, long drive, head back to Washington. Holy cow, through the crossover was the 99 of Tim Logue. As the 4 machine of Hadley, he's going to have Cory Harmon. Cory Harmon's going to be one tough guy to lap out there. Eric Warden has just renewed a great ARCA Michigander tradition, and that is to be driving around with no body left on your car. The sheet metal peeled off. Oh, Chad Sizemore dead in the crossover. Jesse Tunney taking over second place with a mad dash through the X. Followed by the 3D of Durham, the 3T of Mark Tunney, the 6 of Chris Harmon. Your lead lap cars now starting to get stretched out as Mike Hadley has turned up the wick. He's got the afterburner set. Oh, through the crossover once again. This time is the Garrigus G4 ride that got a bit of a scare, as they've got him piled up through the crossover still. Mark Tunney taking over third place now in the 3T. Fourth place is that battle between the 3D of Durham and the 6 of Harmon. And now it could get interesting here. We've got Hadley getting through some nasty little pileup. Jesse Tunney clears it. We've got another car stalled in turn 3 as Whitaker's number 31 peels off the racetrack. Crossover action. Here we go. It was the 41 of Buddy Vertrees as Eric Warden cuts the marker for about the 4th or 5th time. Just as Vertrees got rolling again, we were going yellow. So Vertrees in the 41 had stalled the 41 machine. We were going yellow just as he got it running again. Talk to me again about a great tradition. That's being carried on. Eric Warden in the 8 machine. Those of you that have been to this race in the decades, remember back in the day when these Michiganders and these Ohioans, the Buckeyes, would come down from their ARCA show and leave without any bodies left on their car. We'd have Ray Gaddis's pieces all over, Jack Danny's fuel cell sitting out on the track. Eric Warden continuing that great tradition. He's lost a good chunk of the right-hand side of the car, but the K takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Old Timex rolling. We've got the 70 of Donnie Sloan heading in. The 70 of Donnie Sloan heading into the pit area. Leader's going to be the 4, Mike Hadley, and he's got a couple lap cars there to help him out now. Hadley needed some lap cars between him and the rest of the field, and that's what he's got now. Mike Hadley is going to be your leader, still in the lead lap, followed by the 1 of Jesse Tunney, a couple car lengths back there. The 3T of Mark Tunney, the 3D of Steve Durham, and the 6 machine of Chris Harmon. Those are the only cars on the lead lap. Brandon White's number 12 is 2 laps down, as is the 17 of Cory Harmon, 2 laps down. Also 2 laps down, the 87 of Matt Smith. And then you got 9 laps off the pace. Artie Ware's 38, and 9 laps off the pace, the 80 of Donnie Murphy. That is your top 10. Hadley, Jesse Tunney, Mark Tunney, Steve Durham, Chris Harmon, Cory Harmon, Brandon White, Matt Smith, Artie Ware, and Donnie Murphy is your top 10. Just out of the top 10, 11th place is Zach Larson, followed by Tommy St. John, Charlie Hargraves. Doug Gregg is fading. He's got Donnie Garrigus the 3rd, getting past him for 14th. Gregg is in the pit area losing laps right now, holding on to 15th. Bobby Corbin 16th. 17 is my buddy Calvin Crane. Then you got the G4 of Garrigus 4, Jeff Armour's number 10, and Chad Sizemore's number 91 rounds out the top 20. So 5 cars left on the lead lap, 98 laps completed, just approaching the 1 hour mark completed in this one. So it looks like we're going to have at least a 300 lap race, but I don't think we're going to set another 500 lap pace like we've seen in some of the years past. Top speed so far. How about this? The fastest lap I've seen so far in this one, Steve Durham down to a 16.904 a couple laps back. Steve Durham, the only fellow who's out there in the 16-second bracket in race speeds. So Durham still carrying a lot of speed out there, but now he's mired back in 4th place. Got a couple lap cars between him and the leaders. 99 coming to 100 laps complete this next time by. 99 coming to 100 laps complete this next time by. LGBT low budget, am I supposed to remain impartial? Go Hadley. Joe Morganti out there is falling in love with Mike Hadley Jr. He is cute, but we got rumors. And thank you, Teresa McAllister, doing the best I can. Go Swoop Donkey. Ligma, you got me beat here. I have no idea who Swoop Donkey is, but I think he might be running as a congressman out of New Orleans. I'm not sure about that one there. You can fill me in later. Jesse Earls, great race. Steve, stop stuttering. Is that me or Stuttering Steve? I think I saw that one in another movie. Chris Harmon, don't need no Lightning McQueen. All righty. Thank you, Buck Owens. A couple of the tweets going out there. LBTV_racing, and here we go, back to green this time by. 100 laps completed, 100 laps completed. Looks like we'll get about another 200 in before we crown a champion. And it's Sizemore's 91 trying to get a lap back. Gets around the 4 machine. Now here's the story. Right behind that is a 17 of Cory Harmon. Cory Harmon 2 laps down. A chance to pick up on the lap and get back a little bit closer to the lead lap. Harmon in the 17 machine. 3T of Mark Tunney takes over 2nd place. 3rd place is going to go to the number 1 of Jesse Tunney, just ahead of the 3D of Durham. And then you got the 6 of Harmon. Doug Gregg returns to the track in the number 33. Ditto the 03 of Schaefer. Ricky Schaefer back on board. 21 machine of Richie Arthur stalled it once again. The crossover. Schaefer is waiting for a clear sailing there to get through crossover action. As Sizemore trying to get one of his laps back. He's 9 down, trying to make it only 8 down here. If he can get a lap back, another yellow, get around. Oh, crossover, check-up action as the 41 of Vertrees has to get on through the X. It got a little busy, don't you know? Again, the scramble through the X has them all going sideways, sideways, and all wild out there. As things getting wild here at the Indianapolis Speedrome, Indianapolis, Indiana. Around goes the 10 of Jeff Armour, who's been giving everybody something to talk about right now. And Armour all there, trying to get it rolling once again. Cars in and out of the pits all day long. Zach Larson pulls in the pit area there for the Washagander, trying to get out some work done. He's 100 laps into it. This is a long, long distance race for anybody here other than the Speedrome, where rarely any of these guys in figure 8 see more than, say, about 25, 50 laps. But here at the Speedrome, we routinely have 150, 100 lap races, 1 hour enduros, crossover action. I don't know how they made it, but I tell you what, Logsdon, that 0 machine, is definitely cruising for a bruise if he keeps that up. But he timed that one perfectly through the X, and Logsdon survives once again. The 8 Extreme Racer out of the Sportsdrome, they roll all over poor little Jeff Smith. Some little half laps struggling out there. Shackelford in the number 28, cutting most of the north side of the racetrack. And he's got his own share of problems. Tiptoe through the tulips as the 4 of Hadley has got Sizemore getting around him to get one of his laps back, trying to stay there. The 3T of Mark Tunney is caught up to Mike Hadley Jr. Here comes the 3T of Mark Tunney. After that, we're getting the yellow flag coming out. The yellow flag coming out. I'm trying to figure out which one that one's for. Going to try and pick up the 4 machine of Hadley. Whoa, Jeff Smith almost taking out our pace truck. 29 machine of St. John, hopefully heading for the, nope, he's going to stay out there. A couple guys already bunching it up. The 77 of Garrigus heading for the pits. One of the stories of this could be Chad Sizemore getting one of his laps back. Of course, he's down by 24, so that doesn't help him a whole lot, but every little bit counts here in an endurance race. Sizemore up to 19th right now in the running of this one. So every lap counts. Here's your leaderboard as it stands. Mike Hadley Jr. followed by the 4 machine. Mark Tunney in the 3T, the 1 of Jesse Tunney, the 6 of Chris Harmon. Those cars on the lead lap. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars left on the lead lap. Only 4 cars left on the lead lap. After that, 5th place, 2 laps down, Cory Harmon's number 17. 6th place, 2 laps down, Brandon White's number 12. 2 laps down, the 87 of Matt Smith. 4 laps down, the 3D of Durham, who's in the pits. So Durham losing laps after being in the lead there is now 4 laps down. 38 of Artie Ware, 9 laps off, and 10th place held by Donnie Murphy, 10 laps down. So there you go. Murphy hanging on to a top 10 finish so far, along with Artie Ware. The story could also be here, the Cory Harmon, Brandon White, Matt Smith, all just 2 laps down. That may seem like the end of the race. No, they still have 200 laps left to go or so. So plenty of time to make up lost time. Cory Harmon already right on your leader's tail, the shot to make up one of his 2 laps. So it ain't over till it's over, as Yogi Berra would say. Oh, let's see. Sorry about that. Mr. Will ask is, let's go Chris Harmon. Best driver there is out there. I don't know. I'm kind of cheering for Shiner Sutton myself. Let's go Brandon White. Brandon White holding strong out there. Brandon strong out there. 6th place right now for White. Derek Jones, thank you. Kodak Kid back in it. Hadley going to send it. As long as you use the right words in front of send it, we're okay with that one. No F-bombs, please. Brayton Laster, Steve Durham probably shaking from his lead lap run. Just want to say hi, Tori, and thank my mom for letting me watch from home. Can't wait to race this race next year. Okay, Brayton, it's a school night. Go to bed. It's a school night. All right, here we roll. Come back green next time by. Thanking everybody on board, tweeting up at LBTV_. Look for the green flag this time by. There it is. Hadley in the 4, Mark Tunney in the 3. Back in the pack, you're going to have the 6 of Harmon and the 1 of Jesse Tunney. A scramble already has Tim Lowe going wide and causing all kinds of problems as Murphy had to scramble there. Still an hour and 59 minutes remain. Holy cow. Mark Tunney to the lead in front of Hadley. And I'm wondering if Hadley may be content at this point to just rest and follow Mark for a while. But Mark be the pathfinder. Mark trying to pull away. He'd like to put lap cars between him and the rest of the field. Shiner Sutton 32, the 11 of Jeff Smith, and the 80 of Murphy all checked up at the crossovers. Your leaders go past. Trying to see what's going on. I've got into my back marks at this point, checking in up tight. None of my transfer spots, none of my alternates yet. Right now running top dog now with Calvin Crane in the pit area as Mark Tunney leads the way. Lead lap cars now starting to stretch out. I'm down to just 4. I'm down to just 4 lead lap cars. Pit stops happening here. Look for a couple of green flag stops to happen if they can't get a break. Usually about 151 to 200. These cars need to stop for fuel. That has changed from the early days of this race when they used to actually race with old boat tanks, 5-gallon boat tanks, 5-gallon jerry cans. And you were lucky to get 25, 30 laps out of them. That was okay. You had pit stop anyways for fuel because your brakes are usually given out after about 25 laps. A lot of smoke coming from the Eric Ward machine. He may be getting close to the end there for the big machine. I wonder if the big machine maybe getting ready to go on strike. Oh, through the crossover go your leaders, and now is when you start making up the fast laps. The field is getting thinned out. Now's your chance. The track is not yet totally greased down from the cars that are leaking and squeaking, and now's your chance to get some time made up. Whoa, Jeff Smith almost making the highlights tape there, splattering the 32 of Shiner Sutton coming over so close to the crossover. The 29 of Bobby Corbin, again threading the needle. As I tell you what, I'm over there reaching for my nitro pills right now. They're keeping me on the edge. I tell you, here we go. Mark Tunney in the 3T, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr. Chris Harmon in the 6, Jesse Tunney in the 1. Those cars still on the lead lap. Holy cow! There's the big hit we were waiting for. The 28 of Shackelford, the 12 of White, and we go red, red, red. We can go red, red, red. Clock is stopped. Checking on the 28 of Shackelford, checking on the 12 of Brandon White. Hard hit at the crossover. Hard hit. We are going to ask for the medical crew. Again, we need you to stand clear of the gate. We need to have everybody call cars to a stop. The full red flag, full red flag. We need a full red flag. Brandon White claims he's all right. Already getting ready to climb out of the 12 machine. Brandon White. Safety crew come to check on Shackelford in the number 28 machines. As always, taking great caution. I will not speculate or report on what is going on trackside. Gives a chance to take a bit of a breather here, folks, as we handle the emergency on the track. Red flag action was get a restart lineup going to be given to the drivers. And here's one of the things we'll ask for here. Please clear the aisle so we can get our scores through. Score is going to come on through the aisle. Please clear the aisle. Safety crew checking on Jeff Shackelford. Jeffrey Shackelford, a rookie in this event. And a quick check down of what we got here for top rookies. And clearing away some sheet metal, get clear access to Shackelford. Keep in mind at this point, everything is speculative. We take a caution. Looks like there's some motion out there. So other than that, we will speculate them get to do their job. The goal here now is not to rush to anything, but to stabilize and check on things, make sure everybody's all right before we do anything rash. And Jeff opening up his hood on his helmet on his own there. Give me a quick chance to run down what we've got you so far for the running order of the event. As we handle the emergencies on the track, Mark Tunney and Mike Hadley battling for the lead, as you saw, coming to the stripe there. Chris Harmon stays on the lead lap, 120 laps into this one, along with the one of Jesse Tunney. So 4 cars completing so far 120 laps of this event. The clock has stopped with 1 hour and 57 minutes remaining. Mark Tunney up in front in the 3T, along with Mike Hadley in the 4, Chris Harmon in the 6, and the one of Jesse Tunney. Those cars on the lead lap. Then 2 laps down, the 17 of Cory Harmon. 2 laps down, the 12 of Brandon White, who obviously going to fall further behind, and the number 12 machine, Matt Smith in the 87. And then after that, you've got the 3D of Steve Durham, 4 laps off the pace. The 38 of Artie Ware, 9 laps down in 9th place. 10th place held by Donnie Murphy in the 80 machine, 10 laps down. 11th place held by Charlie Hargraves as they lift Shackelford out. He's getting out obviously groggy, but with assistance, and they'll continue to assist him here. Rung his bell pretty good. Let the officials handle the emergency after that, and get the new kid on the back. We'll bring him to the grid here in just a little bit after we get space to bring these guys to the grid. We'll put them on the grid for the restart of this one.
Please obey. Please move out of the front stretch, please, so the scorers can get down to the front, please. Thank you.
Again, stand clear, a little privacy, and we'll get things ready to roll here for you in just a second. The restart lineup's going down to the track crew down on the track itself. Buck Creek Township Fire Department on board with us here, along with the ambulance crews, so we'll get things handled on that end. Been going back down to the rundown here. 10th place, Donnie Murphy in the 80 machine. 11th place held by Charlie Hargraves, 12 laps off the pace in the 74. 12th place is the 29 of Tommy St. John, 13 laps down. After that, 13th place, the 29C of Bobby Corbin. 14th place, the Doug Gregg, is number 33, 19 laps off the pace. 15th place is 24 laps down. This is going to be Chad Sizemore. You're going to have Zach Larson's number 83G for 16th place. 17th is held by the 77 of Donnie Garrigus III. After that, Doodle Ferris is number 48. The G4 of Donnie Garrigus IV. And the Tin Machine of Jeff Armour, 10th place and 34 laps down. Put the hook back onto the 28 of Shackelford, get his machine back in the pit area. Restart lines being distributed over to the track crew. And one of our Speedrome veterans, John Elkins, out there assisting there with the Last Chance Wrecker Service. Former competitor in this event many moons ago. Also, some might remember him at the old Hoosier Dome race way back when. We put the figure eights in the old Hoosier Dome. That brings back a couple memories. Turn back the clock there. I'm showing my age once again. A lot of these guys weren't born then. Get the guys back rolling here in just a second. Full red flag, clock stops. No cars allowed back on the track from the pit area. Chance once again, if you got somebody sitting next to you not really enjoying themselves, go send them for a cold pop. If you can, send them over to go to the bathroom for you. Thank you, Michael Cherry. Glad you're enjoying it out here. Pleasure to be with you folks here with LBTV_racing. Again, you folks here at the Speedrome. And they're at on the internet getting the dual duty here. Let's see. Vanderhoof should not have sold the car that was given to him way faster than the one he's driving this year. Well, I tell you what, we all do the best of what we got. Big shout out. And yep, things go boom out here. Leonard Basham in the house tonight. We welcome Leonard Basham back with us. And Teddy KGB says BBBB Big Best Beans. Take it to the front. Okay. They're all gas powered here. Jesse Earls, tell them to turn their headlights on so they can see. Ha ha. We're trying the best we can. We paid the electric bill this week. Teddy at KGB also betting it's going to be a Tunney for the win. Well, it's still a pretty good shot at it. 2 Tunneys on the lead lap. Mark Tunney and Jesse Tunney, both former champions one way or the other. Field being reassembled behind the pace car. Interesting what's going on with Chad Sizemore, number 91. There he gets rolling again. Couple waiting at the on-track gate to come back out. Again, still a chance to improve positions. Lord knows anything can happen in this race. We've seen them come from laps down. But it is now getting close now. This is where you better get yourself set up to win. Shiner Sutton's number 32. Wonder if that's stalled or if Shiner stopped to switch CDs in the player there. We thank everybody being with us, whether you're here at the Speedrome or at home or wherever you are watching on your device. We welcome everybody on board. Gradually, we've had more and more fans coming in all night long. Been watching the stands continue to get a few extra trickles here and there. But we appreciate you folks making the sacrifice on a work night. I know how it feels. 5 o'clock comes early for me too. So once again, your top 4 on the lead lap. The 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 6 of Chris Harmon, and the 1 of Jesse Tunney. Closest you got after that is Cory Harmon, 17, and the 87 of Matt Smith, 2 laps down for those cats. Ditto for Brandon White's in the 12, technically still only 2 laps off for Brandon White, depending whether they come back to rejoin the party here when we reopen the gates after the red. So waiting for the field there under control. I've decided one of the cruelest things you can do at a racetrack when a guy still has 2 hours left of figure 8 racing and you're waving a cold beer at him. Man, oh man, that's just that's abuse right there. If you could, pretty please find a seat, put it on video from someplace else, and we'll be ready to roll racing. Thank you. Again, if you want to videotape it, climb up high, get up on the top row out of everybody's way, and get ready for the greens. And there we go. Green flag comes back out. The question is who comes back on the racetrack? The 21 of Arthur, the G4 of Garrigus. A couple struggling to get through the gate. The 1 of Dennis Wisman has come back out to play. The Rebel always making it back out. Ditto the 29 of Tommy St. John back on the track. We welcome Tommy St. John back with us here. Way down the scoring, but I tell you what, you got to get your laps in, rookie. You got to get your laps in. Just ask Matt Smith out there. In fact, that's going to be an interesting point to make here. Matt Smith right now, leading rookie of the race. Tiptoe goes Tommy St. John, the 29, as Mark Tunney, your leader in the 3T, followed by the number 4 of Mike Hadley Jr. What's happened with the rest of my lead pack cars? Whoa, to the crossover once again. The 6 of Harmon has gotten around this 1 machine of Jesse Tunney for 3rd place. As Hadley slides right up behind Mark Tunney. Let Mark Tunney be the pathfinder. Let Mark Tunney cut the trail here. See if they can open up a route to success here and be there for the end game. And whoa, tiptoes. Harmon in the 6 machine. As around goes Eric Warden. Eugene Warren, pardon me, for the umpty time out there. And I tell you what, Warren, the big machine, has been trouble keeping that machine rolling here. He's taking the licking and kept on ticking through the crossover. Matt Smith's 87, getting around the 3D of Durham. Now Durham is a bunch of laps down at this point, but still can make some up. He's only 4 laps off the pace, but still in top 10. So Durham back out and fighting hard. Leader's still going to be looking for my cats now. Where'd you go? The 4 machine of Hadley nosing out in front of Mark Tunney's 3T machine. As Harmon's number 6 holds on to 3rd place over Jesse Tunney's number 1. Tight traffic for Hadley and Tunney through the south end. Oh, there's the 21 machine of Arthur checking up, and that's going to block off. He uses a pick, picks off Mike Hadley Jr. It's like Ritz Smith standing right in the lane there, and Hadley had no place to go. Mark Tunney back up in front. Crossover action has gotten calmed down as people start hitting their rhythm. Got a heavy pack though going through. Mark Tunney leading Mike Hadley Jr. as we got the brakes lit up now in the 03 of Schaefer. Schaefer, one of the fellows struggling to get the stock car bonus, has got one of the problems that stock cars have, and that is heavier cars, they run out of brakes faster. Back in the old days, we literally had brakes catching fire out here. It's not quite so common anymore, but still a struggle for these guys in the stockers to make it happen. And Schaefer in that 03 is one fellow suffering from the brake rotors lighting up. At no point yet so far has anybody been able to really relax and just do laps on this thing, as traffic has stayed hectic and heavy. 41 of Buddy Vertrees heads back in the pit area again for yet another stop. Vertrees, holy cow, what is the 0 machine of Logsdon doing? I tell you what, he's surviving is what it was. Logsdon there pulling through another one for the folks at the Nick's Powder Keg. Man, oh man, they'll be drinking a couple cold ones for him tonight. Through the crossover goes 87, around and around goes Hargraves. On the spin there, puts a tank slapper on the 03 of Schaefer, and Hargraves now stalled as the Durham 3D machine tiptoes through the crossover. Ain't no tulips out there, and it's now the 74 of Hargraves. Old Grizzly hair sitting there looking at the crossover. Up goes the personal, and Garrigus in the G4 piles on, and we're going to have a yellow flag now to bunch him up. Yellow flag comes out. Yellow flag comes out. Looks like our pace truck may have stalled out there. The yellow flag comes out. A little too late for the Garrigus G4 and the 74 of Hargraves. Again, it's an endurance. It's an enduro race. Garrigus getting out to check on Hargraves. Pace truck gets rolling. Picks up Mark Tunney, the leader, along with Hadley. Jeff Smith's going to go down another lap there, and both drivers out of the car under their own power, but they are calling for the last chance records to come on up and scoop them up. So the big grid is Charlie Hargraves going down. Garrigus was running 19th. Hargraves is running 13th, and both now going further in the serial with that crash. See if they can get it fixed up, patched up, rolling again. G4 of Garrigus. Basically, you can call that just about a 4th generation driver. His grandfather, Donnie Garrigus Jr., was a relief driver in the very first 3-hour figure 8 back in '77. Ran a double handful of those over the decades, and basically finally hung up the helmet. His son, Donnie Garrigus III, saw him smack his way into the starting grid there at the last minute with that bonsai run. Makes it into the starting grid in that 77 car. He's already out and done, looks like, down for the count. And now you got his son, Donnie Garrigus IV, out there in the G4, was running pretty strong out there, holding on to 19th spot, but finally the crossover taketh away. In this case, find a car that already about a half lap earlier had spun around. It passed him once or twice already, but was not there for the 3rd time. Run down your lead lap cars now as it stands. Still Mark Tunney in the 3T, the 4 of Mike Hadley, the 6 of Chris Harmon, and Jesse Tunney. As we see the replay, see Hargraves going around, loops it, comes to the stall. Everybody going past, they see him, they see him, they see him. The field goes on by. Now keep in mind, they know he's there. They know this is an endurance race. They know he's maybe sitting there for a little bit. Cars continue to go by. He's actually kind of out of the way, but here comes Garrigus at the last minute, and kablooey. Donnie Garrigus the 4th into the side of Hargraves. Both drivers okay. Old Betsy taking a licking out there, and Hargraves, I'm wondering if he's going to try to drive off. He's actually still eligible to return to the race if he so chooses. We have seen worse, by the way, in this event over the decades. Nope, he's just going to get a push back to the pit area. So maybe we will see him again. We'll see what they're able to pull, what kind of miracles they got to pull out of the hat out there. Top 10 right now. Tommy St. John has worked his way already back to 10th place now for the 29. Tommy St. John, 14 laps off the pace. 9th place held by the 80 of Donnie Murphy. 8th place goes to Artie Ware in the 38. 7th place Steve Durham in the 3D. 6th place is your top rookie Matt Smith. 5th place held by the 17 of Cory Harmon. 4th place the 1 of Jesse Tunney. Third place 1 of Jesse Tunney. 4th place the 6 of Chris Harmon. 3rd the Jesse Tunney's number 1. 2nd is Mike Hadley, and your current leader there in that side-by-side battle, Mark Tunney in the 3T. So 4 cars still in the lead lap. You've got Cory Harmon's number 17, Matt Smith's number 87, 2 laps off the pace. 4 laps down is 3D of Steve Durham in 7th place. And after that, you got almost a handful. Artie Ware is 9 laps down in 8th. Murphy is 10 laps down in 9th. And Tommy St. John and Bobby Corbin both 14 laps down. Jeremy Larson wants to shoot out to Big Wayne. Okay, I believe that's a shout out. There we go. Okay, Big Wayne. Leave Steve Fossone didn't do nothing to nobody. Okay. Steve Foster had a gorgeous car. Saw that one at the car show up here in Indy. And somebody should cut Teddy off. Yeah, he's a talkative one, Austin Scott. All right. Brayton Laster, it's past your bedtime, Brayton. It's time for you to go to bed, Brayton Laster. You got school tomorrow. LBTV, thank you all for checking them in with us. Appreciate you folks being on board. LBTV_racing. Back to the race we go. Mark Tunney gets a nose out in front of Mike Hadley. Back in the pack, the 1 of Jesse Tunney gets a nose and a car and another car in front of the 6 of Chris Harmon. And it's still those top 4. Harmon and Jesse Tunney, though, are going to have to get out of that pack and need some clear sailing to stay safe out there. It gets ugly when you run in the middle of the pack like that. 3 of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley. Former winners of this event through the crossover right behind the 0 of Josh Logsdon, who's proved he ain't backing down from nobody out here in 2018. Logsdon trying to get a top spot out there. See him pick up maybe the Stalker bonus. He is an extreme figure 8 car out of the Jeffersonville Sportsdrome. 1 hour, 48 minutes remain. 1 hour, 48 minutes remain in the event. Not quite halfway on this one through the crossover again. And this time is the big machine Eric Ward. No, pardon me, Dennis Wisman's number 1. Also starting to move his body panels. What is it with these guys from the ARCA series? They got to surrender their body panels when they come to Indianapolis. Seems like every year Josh Logsdon just had a nice little scare there as the leaders go through a little bit of a gap in the middle. We've got the great ARCA tradition continuing of cars running around with no bodies, half bodies, partial bodies. I'll tell you what, as long as you're having fun getting the laps in, and you're there at the pay window at the end. Nice little battle shaping up for pride, if nothing else. The 38 of Artie Ware, the 21 of Mike Riddle Jr. Artie Ware came into this one loaded for bear, but unfortunately so far he's coming up all Teddy's. 8th place right now for him, 9 laps down, but it's still a long race. A lot can happen. Mark Tunney in the 3T. Mike Hadley in the 4 machine across the bow of the 3D of Durham. Now remember, Durham's been one of the fastest cars on the track all night long. Just has not been one of the luckiest. Again, Durham had decision time. And we're going to keep an eye on what's happening with the big machine, Eugene Warden out there. A lot of smoke once again coming out of that 8 machine. It's about 8 up, that's for sure, but the Fireball 8 still rolls. Still scoring points and laps. Check on my battle for 3rd place. It's currently held now by the 6. Oh, Harmon's got crossover action. He and Jesse Tunney make it through. They've got the 80 machine as a pick. Now you got the 33 of Doug Gregg. Doug Gregg is stalled at the crossover. Here comes Harmon. They've got traffic at the crossover. Gregg waving. Gregg trying to get out. They collect. Oh, the 91 of Sizemore gets collected by the 21 of Arthur. And Sizemore limps it, can't quite even get. I think he is trying to get his own yellow flag, and he just can't keep it running. I believe he might have been trying out on the starter. And he finally does get a yellow flag, but too late. Too little, too late. So Chad Sizemore, who is still struggling, 12th place for him, 926 laps down, takes a hit at the crossover. And he is collapsed in the left front. I think he was trying to get a yellow flag, get a hook in, but he gets his yellow flag, but it's not going to help too much. They got some work to do on that number 91 car over the Damon's Auto Sales pit. Man, oh man. So looking back on it, I tell you what, a couple of favorites went out early. Your second quick qualifier, the 5 of Ben Tunney, left, I think, before we even had a chance for the first popcorn break. Tommy St. John struggling his way back in, lost some laps, but he's holding on to 10th place right now. Mike Hadley is still with us. Austin Tunney's bailed out on us. He's gone and out of the count. He's way out of the top 20 at this point. Austin Tunney almost out of the money. Jesse Tunney's still in the hunt in the number 1. He started 5th on this one. Steve Durham started 6th. He's right now holding on to 7th place. Not too bad for the 3D machine. Mark Tunney's running with the leaders. Cory Harmon started 8th. He's 2 laps down, but still hanging tough. Another quick look there for you folks at Low Budget TV. What was happening there? Yeah, very, very disappointed. Chad Sizemore. A lot of hard work going into these cars. A lot of long, long hours last couple days. Artie Ware still got some fans down there in Shepherdsville, Kentucky, cheering him on. Will Greenwell, well, you should be supposed to be cheering on Darren. Okay, Jesse, calm down now. Jesse Earl's there. I think you calm down. A little less caffeine. M's got a big fan of Dennis Wisman. Well, I tell you what, he's been out there. That's about all I'll give him credit for. Wisman's still struggling out there, down out of the top 20. Matt Lewis cheering on the Harmon crew of Chris and Cory Harmon. The Thornberrys checking in. Hadley cheering on Mike Hadley for back-to-back championships. It could happen. But I tell you what, we're now just shy of halfway on this one. Plenty of time for things to happen, to go south, to go north. You never know where it's going to go. Can't not count out Chris Harmon. Chris Harmon holding on to 3rd place, still on the lead lap. About 7 laps back there on the clock there when the yellow came out. So we'll see if Chris Harmon's able to make it happen again. Brower 22, I have no idea who Uncle Wildnut is, but it sounds like you have an interesting family reunion coming up. That's all right. LBTV_racing.com on the tweet action here. Jacob Tharp. Come on, Sizemore. Well, a little late for that. Gligma, let's go Sportsdrome. Whoop those Indy boys. They too slow for the drone. We'll see what happens. Again, Chris Harmon still in the hunt in 3rd place for the 6th machine of Harmon. So straight a couple guys who got around the pace car the last time by, or lining them up. Again, your top runnings as it stands right now. The 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr. obviously up in front. And it looks like they're now getting the word from the pits there from Shane Crane. Thank you, Shane. Let me know. Calvin Crane is done. The linkage broke on it. Can't get it into high gear. So there you go. Crane there, breaking my heart there, Shane. Mark Tunney, Mike Hadley up in front. Welcome on board, Kyle, and the folks over at Grand Rapids cheering on the Mark Tunney crew. Chris Harmon holds on to 3rd place in the 6th machine, along with the number 1 of Jesse Tunney. Those the only 4 cars on the lead lap. 2 laps down is going to be the number 17 of Cory Harmon. Ditto for the number 87 of Matt Smith. Right now, Matt Smith, the top running rookie. After that, you're going to have the 3D of Steve Durham, the 38 of Artie Ware, the 80 of Donnie Murphy, and Tommy St. John's number 29 for your top 10. And Brayton Laster, I can't tell you again, it's past your bedtime. It's a school night. You need to go to bed. Doesn't matter if you are a figure 8 veteran. And yes, if you could hit on girls, we would all be happier. That'd be an accomplishment. Your mother is waiting. And tweet and a half. Buck Owens saying, if I was racing the 91, I'd beat the 21 like a dog, but I'm only the bull god. Okay. Well, And keep on rolling. Teddy KGB, Killer Cam has O's. Okay. Still working on those use of consonants, aren't we, son? 3T is on a roll from the Kodak Kid. Yes, you are correct. And up in front. We'll go back to the racing action. Thanks for the breaks there on the LBTV_racing tweets. The Tweetiverse on board with us here at the Speedrome. Fans in the stands, hope you're having fun. Back to green we go. An hour, 40 minutes remain. Mark Tunney noses out in front of Mike Hadley. Back in the pack, Harmon. Chris Harmon in the 6 has got a couple of car lengths advantage now over the 1 of Jesse Tunney for that battle for 3rd, 4th. But Mark Tunney back in front. And Harmon in the 6 machine trying to get around. He's going to have cousin Cory up in front. As a bit of a scramble, Johnny Bird making it out. Haven't seen him yet tonight. He might have had to stop and get a jump start. I'm not sure what's going on. Might have a bit of an issue. Those of you following on Race Monitor app will get it fixed there. Looks like we do have her up. Nope, it did have a freeze on the Race Monitor app for those of you following that at home. Again, getting that fixed over here on site. We'll get that one back online. Looks like the Race Monitor app briefly going down for us. Again, we're working on that one here on the site and keep you posted of that one. So apologize those of you following the Race Monitor app. Looks like it has gone down for the moment, but it's still going to be the 3 of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Hadley. Holy cow, Chris Harmon through the crossover with traffic. Playing catch up to your leaders. He's losing sight and he doesn't want to do that. Wants to keep the leaders inside. Johnny Bird heading for the backstretch early on. Got a couple laps in. Tiptoe, tiptoe, tiptoe. I can't believe he made it through. Man, oh man, Shevitz as the 1 machine of Dennis Wisman is giving him a show of survival out here. Only half a car, but he's definitely got a full set underneath. Leader still going to be the Mark Tunney number 3T being chased by the Mike Hadley 4 machine. Chris Harmon once again is a full straightaway behind. Got his own private battle going on with Jesse Tunney's number 1. And it's survival stage now. This is the part of the game where you just need to hang on. Listen to the car, pay attention, keep it out of trouble. Maybe you can take a couple chances now that the field has lightened up a little bit, but you got to be careful out there at all times. You cannot give an inch out there. Again, we're trying to get the Race Monitor app back on board. We apologize to those of you trying to follow at home. We're trying to get everything loaded back up and running here. Do appreciate the folks with timing and scoring, keeping our stripe rolling there across the screen. Holy cow! Everybody piles in on Jeff Smith at the crossover. There's the big Talladega one, and we're going to have to go yellow. Look for a red, red, red even possibly coming out here. Watch the clock, watch the clock. Big pile up. The 11 of... We got the 1 machine of Jesse Tunney there pulling away there, trying to stay on the lap. The 1 machine of Dennis Wisman also involved. The 0 of Logsdon. The 11 of Jeff Smith. The 80 of Murphy. The 21 machine of Riddle. The 3D of Durham in the middle of that mess. We are going to go red on the track for the red to come out here. And we've lost Steve Durham out there. Going to bring out some crew here, check on that. We were waiting for the big Talladega pileup. We were never expecting it to be like that. Jeff Smith in the middle of that one. More grim ones for him in 2018. '17 of Cory Harmon being directed back over. Going to send out the crew. Check in on the 3D of Durham. There's concern for him out there. He's gave us a bit of a scare, so err on the side of caution and double check on Durham. Try to get the rest of these guys separated. So among the top riders being taken out on this one, the 3D of Durham, obviously one of my top dogs in the hunt. Ditto the 80 of Murphy. 53 of Johnny Bird checking in and checking out. And you can see the big pile happening out there. Jeff Smith stalled there. Johnny Bird's number 53 joins in, and everybody after they pile on. I'll tell you what, it's the mosh pit time when somebody's dropped a quarter. And they all just sort of pile on out there. The 80 of Murphy, the 21 of Riddle, the 53 of Bird, the 11 of Jeff Smith, the 3D of Durham is one to give us the most concern out there. Got his bell rung pretty good. And he's up and walking around here, but another look at it once again. Jeff Smith coming through the crossover, takes a wallop in there from the one of Wisman, and after that it was just everybody piling on. So the big pileup, it happens, we expect it every once in a while. 03 Schaefer comes through. There's Smith, there's Wisman, up goes Wisman, and in goes the rest of them. 77 of Garrigus also in that mix. He gets clear. Cory Harmon, the 17 machine, also clipped that mess. Just going behind it were your leaders, the 3T of Mark Tunney and Mike Hadley Jr.'s number 4 machine. And definitely thinning out the field now. This is when you start getting your laps. This is where the guys who started in late get those laps in. The interesting note here, the two leaders in this one, only 2 wins between them, one each. One for Mark Tunney back in 2013, of course, the 2017 to Mike Hadley. Everybody pitching in, including the track owner, Kevin Garrigus. Got Scott Nye out there hustling around a few things too as well, taking care of the stats and the news. Oh, couldn't find it. And the part they thought they were hooked onto just broke off. Ashley Lewis hoping Harmon can bring home the win, number 6 and number 17. Well, Cory Harmon's only 2 laps down, and Chris Harmon is still in the hunt, Ashley Lewis. Frustrated Dennis Wisman, the Rebel. Up and out. Scott LaRock, wake up Tammy. Okay, sounds like a personal issue for you, Scott LaRock. That's okay. Coleman, Robbie Loving should be there, 6th all-time in laps. I understand that. We got to see Frank Loving out in the wandering around here yesterday in the rain. I didn't get a chance to catch up with Robbie. Jacob Tharp knows it sucks that Hargraves is out, looking good in the back. Well, some think he looks good in front, but his wife does not want you enjoying that right now, Jacob. Let's just keep that between you two at Dare Camp, okay? Dennis Holcomb, bring it home to Kentucky. Chris Harmon, we rooting for you at Cravens. AC, there you go. The folks at Cravens backing you up. Once again, reading off the tweets coming across the wire here for the folks at LB at Low Budget Racing. Looking for another Last Chance Wrecker. We got everybody busy up here. Last Chance Wrecker Service taking care of us here at the Speedrome here at the Indianapolis Speedrome, but they take care of you too throughout the Indianapolis area. And we're going to grab every truck we can at this point to get people hooked up and back in the pit area. Big thanks to folks at Shelby Materials on board in 2018, sponsoring this one. Need to find some more guys to start. Well, yep, losing cars, I tell you, the attrition has always been one of the stories of this race. And sometimes it seems we have everybody left, and sometimes we don't. Artie Beware creeping up. Right now, Artie Ware sitting 8th, 9 laps off the pace for 38 of Artie Ware. Okay, I'm being told, Mark Alderson telling me I cannot pick on Braden Flipper Laster too much. It's a school night. I did not get any free cookies up here. I can pick on Braden Laster all I want, Mark. So again, you folks in the stands are getting to hear a little bit of the action happening on the Low Budget TV. You can check out the highlights coming up later on at the Low Budget TV. I also usually put up a bunch. Oh, there we go. The on-demand is going up as well. There we go. Plus, they usually put together a couple weeks later a nice little YouTube highlights tape, so keep that in mind. But we thank you all for being with us in the stands or worldwide on the web. We welcome everybody to the Indianapolis Speedrome. Tori Stiles with the call here. Kevin Garrigus and crew down there getting things. Kevin himself helping to wrestle the cars apart. the 3D of Durham atop the bumper of the 80 of Murphy. Now Murphy is still technically in 9th place, 10 laps down, and eligible to return depending on the damage done in this incident. So let's see what we got out there. They back Murphy away, and he's going to try and fire up. Like I said, he's still eligible to return. He's got the bumper punched in, but we've got worse out there on the track already. Trying to figure out a comfortable way to hook onto and remove the 3D machine of Durham's car. We'll get a track truck over to try and push the 80 machine of Murphy in the pit area, get him started again. Wisman in number 1, waiting for a hook as well for the 1W, Dennis Wisman. He's been a bit of a highlights tape. Again, your top 4 right now all in the lead lap. The 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 6 of Chris Harmon, and the 1 of Jesse Tunney. And then we're going to have to keep an eyeball on the 17 of Cory Harmon and the Matt Smith 87. Those cats are both 2 laps down. So very much in contention out there. Harmon and Matt Smith, only 2 laps off the pace. We're just past halfway on this one. So plenty of time to still make it happen out there. The other thing to keep in mind, this is something we'll remind you of, just in case it gets away from us once again. A reminder about this race, unique to the event. This is why it's so significant about Calvin Crane's situation. This is one race where it's possible that you are not there for the start or the finish, and you could still win. The clock could run out. If you've got enough laps piled up, and this occurred once or twice where the driver winner could conceivably have gone in the pit area with a minute or 2 left, collected his crew, and then come out to celebrate at the drop of the checkers. So keep in mind, though, that could also come to play. Say the leaders get taken out in the closing minutes. If they have enough of a lead, then actually retain that lead before anybody else has a chance to make up the laps on them. That's why I talk about this is now where you want to get your time in. Look, check it out. We've only got, what, 8 cars left on the track right now. We've got a couple ready to come out to get their laps in. So this is now when we start making up the laps. All those guys that crashed early, they're getting left behind in the dust. And a chance for some of these other cats to make up time. This is where the alternates start moving on up in the scoring. They end up a little bit higher at the pay window. This is also where we start seeing we're going to pass out the special awards. Gligma, I apologize. I try to read as best I can, but your spelling is atrocious. Okay, got to work on that one. All right, Skips Construction once again. The race is going to be between the 3T, the 4, and the 6 class of the field. Do not count out the number 1. You're forgetting the number 1 of Jesse Tunney. I got you, Tammy Lewis. Go Harmons. Connie Brewer once again back on board. Tammy Lewis, you hurt my feelings. Scott, okay, now we've got a Twitter duel going on worldwide on LBTV_racing. I'll tell you what, all we need now is Donald Trump getting on board this one. Birds, bees, flowers, trees. Mark Tunney. Okay, Brower. Ashley Smith. Oh, new kid on the block. The whole clan at home cheering on Chris Harmon. The best news is for everybody, both here in the stands and on the line. I've not yet had to make a single notice over the PA about people's children tearing apart the bathrooms. That's always good news here at the Speedrome. Welcome everybody on board the 42nd Annual World Championship 3-hour figure 8 endurance race at the Tom Wood Group Indianapolis Speedrome, powered by Lincoln Tech. This year's event sponsored by good friends at Shelby Materials. I wonder if we can bring back Howard Shelby now. Maybe we can start turning Howard Shelby into a figure 8 racer. And there's my Howard Shelby reference here for the night. Trying to get the mess cleaned up right here. Got Jacob Garrigus behind the wheel of the Lieutenant Sweeper. The rest of the crew, including track owner Kevin Garrigus, out there supervising the cleanup. Some fluids there dropped out. There comes the last chance record for Dennis Wisman as the Rebel there. Been waiting his turn to get back in the pits. Continuing that ARCA tradition of always leaving with a little bit less car than they came in with, but the folks up north continuing to light things up here at the Speedrome. We welcome everybody back with us here. Glad seeing a couple old friends from years past joining us here all weekend long. We again appreciate all our fans who made it happen for us here through all that bad weather. You good fans in the stands, sticking through it. I tell you what, you're the greatest fans in the whole wide world. You put up with rain, you put up with mist, you put up with cold. It looked like we had a window to get some in yesterday, but as soon as we opened it up, it went away again. So appreciate you folks standing by us. Some of the battles we're going to watch on the track is going to be some of the things. For example, rookie of the race is still Matt Smith in the 87 machine. I'm trying to look back anymore in the top 10. Really don't have anybody in the top 20 now. Okay. Jacob Tharp already go to Hooters now. What time do they shut down the line though? I think noon, midnight there. 5 a.m. comes early for me. Kyle thinks I need a Xanax. Well, it's been prescribed in the past. It didn't work then. It won't work now. Watching from the home of Alley Racing. Oh, there we go. Cheering on the Tunnies, Kirsten. And Buck Owen says he wants to be part of the outlaw scene next year with the Lightning McQueen paint scheme. There you go. Don't forget to paint the wheels pink. Nobody's ever done that one before. And Jim Abbott says he just saw Elvis in the stands. Son, some of these hairstyles haven't changed since about 1953. So keep that in mind here.
Elvis wouldn't say, hey, hey, would he?
Yeah, I tell you, I'm having fun up here. I've been following here online. You folks are with me in the stands. I appreciate everybody with us here. How y'all doing? Hi. Looking good?
Doing a good job, Jory. It's a wild race, but an hour and 37 minutes to go. It's anybody's race.
Yep. Clock has stopped again for the second time. We're looking about an 11:30 checkers at this point. We can go green for the rest of the way. 8 cars sitting on the track. We've got about 10 waiting at the on-track gate to come out. They will not be allowed to come out until we go back to green. So keep that in mind. The advantage still held by the folks who stay out here. You stay on the track, you get the advantage. You get to be starting up in front. You go to the pits, you take a chance of being held up. Again, the warning in the pit area, please, please, please keep your chillins close at hand. Looks like we got Doug Gray getting ready to come back out. Curious to see if he's got to be Doug still driving or he's got him a backup. A couple of these guys at this point, they'll put in a backup driver, get some guys some seat time. Very, very busy in the pit area. All kinds of repairs going on. Field back under control. They'll be taking the green, and then we'll let the cars from the gate come back out. Hadley in the 4, Tunney in the 3, 1 and 2. Here's the other big story. Chris Harmon has stayed on the track in the 6. Jesse Tunney, 4th place on the lead lap, is in the pits. Did he get the work done in time? Will he make it in time? Will he stay on the lead lap? Will he go green? And here they come. Chris Harmon charges back up to get with the lead pack. Doug Gregg is back out on the track. So is Artie Ware. So is the 17 of Cory Harmon. There's Jesse Tunney back out. Matt Smith returns. The 77 of Garrigus is back on board. The 03 of Schaefer. Doodle Ferris's number 48 ride returns. And Chris Harmon is back up right behind the leaders. Chris Harmon in the 6 machine is back behind the leaders. More coming out. The 29 machine of Bobby Corbin returns after that lengthy red flag. Clock is ticking and they take a licking. They keep on ticking as well as we all keep on rolling now. 1 hour, 37 minutes remain. 1 hour, 37 minutes remain, just shy of halfway. Sitting at 161 laps. We're still looking at about a 300 lap pace, maybe 340 lap pace at this point for this race with these lengthy yellows. But now is going to be the stretch time. This is where we get the laps in. If you avoid the pile-ups, if you avoid the mess-ups, you start getting your laps in. Holy cow, through the crossover. Once again, Eugene Warden. Eugene Warden is going to be the human highlights tape tonight. I don't think if he's missed a crash yet. If he was, he must have been sleeping or in the pits at the time. 3 machine of Mark Tunney leading with the 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr. and being chased all the way by the 6 of Chris Harmon. Trying to catch back up to the lead pack, number 1 of Jesse Tunney through the crossover, just ahead of the Buddy Virtue's number 41. Virtue's another one who's gone on survival mode, running 14th right now, way off the pace, 41 laps down, but Virtue's trying to get the laps in. Also out there, the number 29 of Tommy St. John, the rookie, another rookie out there, contender, running 9th place. 2 rookies right now in the top 10. Matt Smith's number 87 and the 29 of Tommy St. John. Right there's a story if you need one. Holy cow, there it is! The big one happened again. It's going to be Tim Logue. Stopping hearts, dropping parts, trying to get it fired back up again, looking for a fire under the hood. As we got the 1 of Jesse Tunney moving, Tim Logue is left sitting. Jesse Tunney keeps moving, but I believe he may have lost a lap on that exchange there, maybe 2. Jesse Tunney and Tim Logue looking for help out on the track. He is done. Watching for the wrong kind of smoke come out of the back end of this. We're gonna get Timmy on out of there. The USA insulation could use a little bit more insulation on the floor, but it's getting a little hot in there. Taking a peek in there, see if anything else going wrong out there. But Logue is out. We'll get the last chance wrecker out here again. And Jesse Tunney dodging another bullet, taking a hit, but he has gone down a lap by my reckoning. That may have cost him full lap. Wait for the final as they go around again. Make sure see if that's indeed what's happening. But Jesse Tunney now taking a couple licks out there. Four-time late model champion. Never has been a winner in this one. Second is best. Four-time Speedrome late model champion Jesse Tunney, and looks like the chance for another win is gradually going away. He's been in several altercations, has now dropped a lap off the pace. And here's the other tail of the tape here that's going to be real important as we watch the do-over here. For you folks online, got a chance to check that out again. Jesse Tunney coming through. There was a 99 of Logue as well. And the crossover giveth, the crossover taketh away, and it took both of them out. But here's the other fun story of the tape. Guess who's now looking only one lap down? I missed the shuffle that got him back around there. And it may be an interesting little bit of math magic land here coming into play. But I got Matt Smith now only one lap down along with Jesse Tunney. I didn't see him getting around anybody, so I think a little bit of shenanigans, we'll call it, for Matt Smith may have just bailed him out of some big trouble there. This may go under the WWE rules here for that one. Let's see if they correct that one. But again, Matt Smith now being shown only one lap down instead of two. And they may have got that corrected now. There we go. Nope, still being shown one lap down. I'll go with it. So when we get them clear, we'll go back to green. Remember, clock continues to tick on the yellow flags. Let's see, Dennis Holcomb, I missed that one. Danny G, when you race the figure eight Speedrome, each time the car makes it through the crossover is an answered prayer. Okay. Unfortunately, looks like Tim Lowe can pray for a cold beer. All right. Donnie Snyder says that Cory's going to win it. We'll see what's happened. Race fans from all over the world joining us online. Brayton Lash now cheering on the 32 of Shiner Sutton. And we'll have to see him what comes out as he's going to gradually work his way up in the counts there. This is what doing lap is all about. That's how he ended up 10th in points. He did his laps, made his marks. Thank you, Connie Bruner, for standing up for me. I appreciate that. I'll take every prop I can get these days. I'm old and weak. Dustin Baker, track crew's awesome. Much respect to Garrigus and crew. Yes, they have worked hard. Garrigus, I'll tell you what, he hasn't had time for a shower, but he's sort of taking a bath this weekend. He's had it taken on the chin. Appreciate your support there, Dustin Baker. Here we go. 1 hour, 32 minutes remain. 1 hour, 32 minutes remain. Not even halfway, 169 laps into it. And we've trimmed out the field big time. Jesse Tunney, a ton of smoke, a lot of tire rub on that left rear. He's going to have to come in and get that worked on. That's not going to work. That's not going to last. That's just a blowout waiting to happen. Bad decision there for Jesse Tunney as he's got a ton of smoke coming off that rear. I'm hoping it's just tire smoke. He may be hoping it works itself out, but we'll see how long it lasts, how long they're going to tolerate it. When chunks start coming off, that's when it's time. So Jesse Tunney, a world of hurt now. One lap off the pace, could go further down. Looks like Matt Smith's got around him for a position. So Matt Smith now, the rookie, up to 4th place unofficially now. And check it out, Harmon in the 6 machine up to 2nd place now. Your leaders, 1, 2, 3 through the north end of the racetrack. Sweep around turn 3 of the 8, down 4 and headed southbound right to the flag stand turn. Around turn number 1, the 3T of Mark Tunney from Indianapolis, the 6 of Harmon, and the 4 of Hadley. It's Indy, Kentucky, and Indy, 1, 2, 3. 4th place is now unofficially going to be Matt Smith's number 87, the rookie, as Jesse Tunney finally heads to the pit area. Get the work done on the number 1 machine for Jesse Tunney. Mark Tunney, Chris Harmon, Mike Hadley Jr. They got Artie Ware right behind him now. Artie Ware matching the pace. Where was this happening? Where was this earlier for Artie Ware? As the 3D machine of Artie Ware, several laps down, running 7th place, 9 laps off the pace. But by golly, he's now running with the leaders as Eric, your Eugene Warden, keep calling him Eric. Eugene Warden continues to thrill and chill him on his wild runs there in that Fireball 8 machine. Wow, you don't want to get behind the 8 ball on that one, but I'll tell you what, Eugene Warden has definitely got it rolling here for him, running 18th now, 57 laps down for the 8 machine of Eugene Warden. He's lost the passenger side of the body, but by God, still rolling through the crossover is going to be Mark Tunney. He is going to have major decision time coming up now. Do you check up or do you hope it's broke up? Here he comes, here he comes. The whole field holds up, tiptoes through the crossover. Cory Harmon, the 17, the 87 of Matt Smith making it through. 21 Richie Arthur returns. The 48 Doodle Ferris back on the track. Doodle Ferris right now running 13th, 42 laps down, but still 13th, top 20 spot. Arthur parks down the backstretch. 32 Shiner Sutton back on the track as well. Again, this is where you start making up the laps. This is where you start getting your times in. Check out the rhythm. You get the rhythm run going. Hadley getting brushed back, slowly losing contact from Tunney and Harmon now. And it's Mark Tunney with the advantage. Waiting for the return of Jesse Tunney. As we've got the Garrigus 77 machine, Garrigus 3 back on the racetrack with the 77. It's running 14th right now, 51 laps down, but once again, it's the laps you finish, not the laps you lead, that count at the pay window. Mark Tunney stretching out advantage now. The 3 machine over the 6. Holy cow! You got Shiner Sutton breaking something big time right in front of his cousin there. The 70 of Donnie Sloan comes to a stop just on the entrance to turn 2 of the 8, and they're going to have to go out and bring him in. Something broke. This may be the first time all season that Shiner Sutton has actually broke on the track. He's always run tentative out there, but I don't think he's ever actually broke down on the track. And this has been one of the few times he gets credited for bringing out the yellow here for the entire season. So Brayton Laster, your pick that Shiner Sutton is going to win this one is not going to happen. The right front has broken off, dragging the rear in. Looks like the axle broke and it just collapsed, that right rear tire. So the right rear tire collapsed on it, and Shiner Sutton is going to be out with this one. Hard to come back from broken axle. The guys used to carry spares, but not these days. He's going to need a hook, by the way. He's going to need a hook. Bring out the last chance wrecker for Shiner Sutton. So remember, we were talking before about that red flag. Only 8 cars stayed out on the racetrack, but check it out. The numbers come back up. Alternates coming back on, and we'll run you down once again. The top 10 changed around a little bit. They're going to change a little bit more because check out what's happening now. Mark Tunney, Chris Harmon, Mike Hadley, 1, 2, 3, no problem. 4th place, showing being scored 1 lap down, the 87 of Matt Smith. 5th place, Cory Harmon's number 17. 6th place, Jesse Tunney slipping further back. The number 1 machine slipping back in the count now. Currently 5 laps down in 6th place. 7th place is Artie Ware, 9 laps down in the number 38 machine. 8th place goes to number 29 of Tommy St. John. 9th place goes to 29C of Bobby Corbin III, having a great run for Corbin. And then 10th place is right now Steve Durham. He's going to fade further back, though. He's 29 laps down. 11th place was Donnie Murphy. He is off the track again as well. Jesse Tunney has returned, I do believe. It's hard to see now with everybody getting mangled. Yep. Jesse is back on the racetrack, so he'll have a chance to keep it rolling. But we have lost the 80 of Murphy. But Buddy Vertrees is back out in again in the number 41. He'll have a chance to move up. He's currently scored his 12th, 40 laps down. But keep in mind now's where you make up the laps and get a better spot at the pay window. After that, holding on to 13th place, Doodle Ferris. It's 41 laps off the pace. And his checker records, yep, that's why we're looking at Donnie Snyder. We've seen a lot of both so far, except no checkers yet. Still got about an hour and 26 minutes till we get there. Kodak Kids now saying Matt Smith for the win. You are a fickle one, aren't you, little boy? Just a fickle one. Kyle, just giving me a hard time. We're enjoying laughing at what he's saying. You're laughing with me or at me. That's the important thing. We thank y'all for being with us here. Proud sponsors, Matt Smith. Yep. ICC on board. Indiana Cash for Cars. There you go. Speedrome Rookie of the Year. And in line for Rookie of this race, by the way. Big Eddie being told to clean the wheels. We're just now halfway. It's probably going to be past my bedtime. I already told you it's past your bedtime. So Brayton Laster staying up late. I will not write a note for your teacher, and you are not skipping school tomorrow, young man. Just letting you know. Dustin Baker again. Finally introduced my crew at the firehouse. The world of the 3 hour. They're hooked. Welcome on board over at the firehouse. Keep us safe and stay safe yourselves there, boys. Don't need no smoke eaters in the news right now. 17 is like a wrecking ball. Well, I tell you what, he's coming through. That's for sure. Scored 5th place now for Cory Harmon in the 17 machine, 2 laps off the pace. Shiner Sutton getting the unhappy hookers ride as Invisible Christie walking alongside, keeping tabs on him, escorting him back into the pits. And we'll see if they can come back out and get some more laps in for the Moonshiner from Kentucky. Thanks to everybody being on board. Concession stand still available for you down at the main grandstand and around the track. Restroom facilities always open. Please do not go off the top of the bleachers. That was so embarrassing last year. We thought it was raining. Mark Tunney in the 3. The 6 machine of Chris Harmon up in front. 3rd place, Mike Hadley in the 4, right behind him. Artie Ware in that group now, but Artie Ware, remember that 38 car is 9 laps off the pace. The ones to keep an eye on for the lapped cars right now, the 17 of Cory Harmon and the 87 of Matt Smith. As we got them bunching up, getting ugly. They're not going to go green. Oh, they do go green. I thought maybe they're going to stop the start there, as a couple guys got a little bit chubby-tubby out there back in the pack on the restart. Mark Tunney gets a nose out in front of Harmon's 6th machine. Hadley trying to stay with those lead packers, but having trouble hanging with the big boys right now. Hadley falling back a little bit, losing contact of the leaders. 3 of Mark Tunney there, once again back up in front. 6th machine of Harmon chasing them all the way. And what kind of speed lap speeds we got from these cats? Mike Hadley Jr. gave us a lap of 16.866 not too long ago. Chris Harmon 16.755 back on lap 175. So Harmon still got a whole lot of speed left for us. Mark Tunney's best lap 190, 16.833. Mark Tunney has turned up the heat, and you better get out of the way, because by golly, it's a furnace coming your way. Putting another lap on the 03 of Schaefer. One of the fellows trying to run for tops running stock class car, but I tell you what, this may end up going to Warden or Logsdon. I'm not sure how they're going to score the Warden machine. That might be a stock clip on that one. Schaefer, those out there getting his laps in, and that's the important part, as we talked about. It's still Mark Tunney, Chris Harmon, Mike Hadley. After that, you've got going to have the 87 of Matt Smith, the 17 of Cory Harmon, and then 5 laps down, but don't count him out, the 1 of Jesse Tunney. He's taking an awful beating out there, but he's still in the money. 41 of Buddy Vertrees, moving his way up through the field, up to 11th place now, as Durham's going to fade and back. In the scoring, it's going to be the 41 of Vertrees tiptoeing through the crossover. I tell you what, he's been taking it easy this season for Vertrees. He's come back out of semi-retirement, but he's getting a double handful of it right now tonight. Some of the walking wound we see out there. We've already talked about Jesse Tunney's damaged side. Cory Harmon's not looking much nearly as good as he did when he first came out here on Thursday. But the 17 machine of Cory Harmon still rolling. And your battle for the lead starting to get a little bit heavy. They're going to have some crossover traffic coming up in a little bit, as Donnie Sloan has to check up there in the 70 machine through the X. Zach Larson is back on board with us once again. Larson had dropped way down on the scoring, disappeared for a bunch of laps. Now he's going to have a chance to come back out and try to make up a bunch. Now Larson may be one of my fastest guys on the track now. Try to check it out now. See what we got going on for Zach Larson in the 83 for lap times. Checking into 17.322. We just had a 16.925 from Mark Tunney. Problems now for the Garrigus 77. Pulls in and skips the entire south half of the racetrack and aims it for the pits. No, he aims it for another loop-de-loop. Garrigus in trouble in the 77 machine just right now, looking for a soft place to land. Through the crossover once again. Mark Tunney. Oh no! Chris Harmon gets collected by the 10 machine of Jeff Armour and comes to an immediate stop, and we're going to go yellow to get him out of there. Holy cow, almost had a hit after the fact. It's a pace truck trying to pick up your leader. Trying to pick up Mark Tunney, the leader now, as the pace truck weaving its way through traffic. Going to pick up Mark Tunney, the leader. Chris Harmon gets rolling again. Unbelievable. Some major damage. Oh, heads right in the pit area. 199 laps, ladies and gentlemen, 199 laps. An hour and 20 minutes still remain, though. Mark Tunney, your leader. Mike Hadley in for your second place car. Those now the only two cars left on the lead lap. Oh, doggies, take a quick look at the replay on the folks with low budget. Holy cow, what it was, I do believe, the sixth machine of Harmon gambling that everybody's going to check up for the leaders. And guess what? This is a 3-hour figure endurance race. Nobody checks up for anybody out there. Nothing's given, everything's earned. Also, there's the other problem there. The 10 machine of Armor had the 87 of Smith on his right-hand side blocking his view. I don't think he even saw Harmon coming on that one. And that's the way the traffic works, the crossover sometimes. Once again, you see that the 87 of Smith right in the line of sight there. 87 of Smith, and there you go. Armor there gets caught up in this one, and see who's able to come back out and play. We do have the 17C of Cory Harmon out there. So 200 laps, 200 laps, 200 laps now completed. 200 laps completed. Here's your rundown. Mark Tunney, your leader, lap 200. Second place, the Ford machine of Mike Hadley Jr., also at 200. One lap down, Matt Smith in the 87 with 199 laps. 2 laps off the pace is going to be the Harmon 6 of Harmon and the 17 of Cory Harmon. And Chris Harmon needs to even get the damage fixed and back out here ASAP. We got some, oh, I don't think so. No, without the cleanup out there. But this break in the action could be exactly what Harmon and crew need if they can get it patched up. He's going to be 2 laps down if he can get out here. Looks like... So Cory Harmon's still being scored. Don't care how many laps down. Go Artie Ware. Ronnie Sadler cheering on the man Artie Ware. Ware down up to 7th place now with attrition taking its toll. Cory Harmon holding on to 5th place. Ray Lucas, I know I got to be up at 5 o'clock and walk the doggies and get to work. I know what you're talking about out there. Tori Styles for the win. Thank you, folks. Cody Marcy, appreciate that. Give the big shout out. Hey, can we say... Okay, can I just say Fickle? We'll skip on that one, Brayton Laster, and let you roll on. It's past your bedtime. Put on your wubby and let's go. Way better than watching the Lions. I would have to agree with that one there. It was better than watching the Colts yesterday, that's for sure, especially that 4th quarter. So I'll run it down now as we start to take a quick break of reading the tweets to let you know it's Mark Tunney, your leader. Mike Hadley right behind now, 200 laps into it, 201 laps into it. Matt Smith holds on to 3rd place as a rookie. 2 laps down, 2 laps down. Also, Cory Harmon's number 17. Now it's going to be one. We'll fix all that one up. I thought there was a little bookkeeping error in there from Matt Smith. We'll see what they get as they get that one sorted out. Chris Harmon has gone down 3 laps. And I don't see him at the gate just yet, so some serious damage out there being repaired. Jesse Tunney holds on to 6th place. Artie Ware to 7th. Tommy St. John to 8th now for another rookie. 9th place is held by Bobby Corbin. And 10th place is going to go to Buddy Vertrees. Buddy Vertrees in the 41 up to 10th place now in the running. Big shout out getting not only on the Tweeterverse, but boy, it's rough when you've got some of your fans in Messenger asking about the conditions here of the smoking situation on the 8 machine of Warden. This is an endurance race, and we don't quite apply all the same rules we'll have as we for our Saturday night race. So excessive smoking, as long as it's not dropping anything on the track itself, until it's going to be a pretty severe situation before we're going to black flag them for something like that. Also, it's just a great story. Eugene Warden, that number 8 machine, coming in as part of the ARCA crew. He's so far being one of the top survivors from the folks up north. I'm looking back on, yes, he is indeed. He's the top running ARCA car right now. Eugene Warden, the big machine, on his rookie effort. So again, yes, he's had a lot of smoke out there, but you know what? Where's the tobacco country? Smoke up. Again, we're on a red flag break. There's the big machine there for you folks at home. Phil comes in from the ARCA group out of southern Michigan, northern Ohio, runs a series of tracks all over, including a 1/10 mile track in Toledo, Ohio. There's a tiny little thing for a figure 8. But he's part of a long tradition in this race going back to the very first days when guys like Bob Stute and Gary Early and Danny Gaddis, or Ray Gaddis' dad, and all the others used to come on down and clean our clocks. They could not take the big win, though. Yep, Teen Sportsdrome has lost another one of its top soldiers out there. Jake and McFeely let in the snow from down south. And you folks here at the Speedrome in the grounds, you're welcome to join in. LBTV_racing at LBTV_racing on fill us in. Jeff Jansen has some serious personal issues that he needs to deal with, and this is not the place, Jeff Jansen. But that's all right. We all have our urges. Tim needs to go hit the pace truck so he can be perfect. Well, Jeff Armour is out there getting his laps in. I think just about as many people got a piece of him as he got a piece of anybody else out there. And Brayton Laster saying, you know, it's bad when you can count the amount of cars on the track with my fingers and a foot. We say it's bad when you have to use your fingers and a foot to help you count. One of the issues we're trying to maintain control now that we can here is some of the things that used to crop up, especially when you got the big field of cars they could get away with, hard to police. But now the field is smaller, and the guys who were finagling a little bit of creativity on the starts aren't quite getting away with it like they had been. So a few folks were asking about some of the issues there. So again, we're trying to keep the restarts clean. Pretty simple to go out to the family of Caleb Hammond. Yes, we did lose a friend of racing. Little Caleb had been asking for stickers from all over. And lost Caleb Hammond, just passed away, I believe, late last night, early this morning, if I recall. And services coming up here. They've not yet posted that I know of the services yet for Caleb Hammond, the young race fan there who passed away with leukemia, if I remember correctly. Getting ready to go back green here in just a little bit. Thank you all for being on board. 3T of Tunney, the Ford machine of Hadley Jr. The only cars left on the lead lap, 202 laps into it, now 203 laps down in the World Figure 8 Championship. 3-hour figure 8 endurance race. Brought to you by the folks at Shelby Materials. Got you covered with everything you need. What are you going to build from the ground up and reach for the sky with Shelby Materials? Hadley got a couple of cars now between him and Mark Tunney. This is what Mark Tunney wants and needs. He wants to get on, pull away. He's going to have some clear sailing. We saw earlier he's still able to do this. 17 and change laps out there. If he can pull those off, make it happen out there, he's got a good shot at this one going all the way to the end. They go back to green. Zach Larson lines up right behind him. Larson, another one that's earning marks now. Larson trying to get a couple spots up on this open sailing part of the night. Now Hadley has his worst nightmare coming true. He's losing contact with leaders, having to battle back in the pack now, where you're going to fight and scrape for every square inch of track, whereas Mark Tunney's up in front with clear sailing. Last time by, what do we have going for a lap time on Mark Tunney? Checking in at a 16833. Hadley to a 16866. Cory Harmon. I tell you what, they're putting on the speed out there, still turning in the laps. Mark Tunney with the advantage. Tommy St. John still under 17-second laps. As the story is going to start bringing the back markers, the 80 machine of Donnie Murphy returns. He was running 15th, 58 laps down for the 80 machine of Murphy. But now, once again, come back out and get your laps in. Another fellow, again, it's Warden showing a lot of smoke out there. But again, it's an enduro race. He's got parts of flapping, but he's still, well, I can't say fapping, can I? We can now to the internet, but they didn't hear me at the PA. That's the good news. Only folks on the radio heard that one. Holy cow, Warden has to check up as the two of the fellows trying to do the survival run there. Warden in the 8 and Sloan in the 70. Almost met at the crossover, about 7 miles an hour. And it's going to be Sloan checking up there for the leader, Mark Tunney. And continues to be grief there. One thing that Hadley did not want to have happen in the 4 machine is lose contact with Mark Tunney. Tunney's got clear sailing. He's able to stretch out the advantage, put the lap cars between him and Hadley. Hadley blocked in. He's going to use the 17 of Cory Harmon right now as a pick to help him cut through traffic, but it's not going to help too much. Another fellow now starting to impress me more and more. Zach Larson, 17.096 second laps out there, trying to get under, and there goes Zach Larson, 16.8 second laps. Tommy St. John, 16.8 second laps. Your fast cars up in front are turning laps back in the 16-second range again, back at qualifying speeds. And Zach Larson's, I believe, almost running faster than he qualified. I believe he came in at about a 16.4. He's just a couple of tenths off of that speed, so Zach Larson is lighting them up right now in the 83 machine. But unfortunately, he's so many laps down, it's going to take him a while. He's going to have to keep that pace up now for the rest of the race to make up for all the lost time. Holy cow, it's going to be the 29 of Corbin through the crossover. Remember, once again, the pits are open the whole time. Cars keep coming out. Jesse Tunney trying to recover. 5 laps off the pace, still holding on to 5th place in the number 1 car. Still looking at a top 5 finish if he can keep the pace of rolling. But once again, you never know what can happen back in the pack or deep up in front. Another one coming out, the 21 of Richie Arthur returning to the track. Zach Larson had decision time right across the bow of the 87 of Matt Smith. Richie Arthur, another one of the rookies of the race, getting back in here into the game for the 21 machine 21A of Arthur. Crossover action shaping up once again. Doug Gray got there in the 33, doing laps, getting times in, and still Mark Tunney. But the other story has got to be the fact that Zach Larson at 83, even though he's a whole bunch of laps down, 90 laps off the pace, is basically keeping pace with the leader for the moment. Wait for the brakes of the crossover. Arthur gets it rolling finally in the crossover. Arthur gets rolling finally in the crossover. I had my microphone off there for a while. Dag nabbit, you missed some great stuff too. I tell you what, this late in the race, even your announcer starts losing the abilities here. After a while, things get sloppy. You get hot and bothered. Holy cow, is that Charlie Hargraves returning? It is. Charlie Hargraves in the 74 machine limp its way back out on the racetrack, and the Pink Panther has all but been skinned out there. He's still got one side hanging on, but Charlie Hargraves back on the track in the 74. That's what this race is about. It's not that you lead all the laps, it's that you do all the laps you can. 1 hour, 8 minutes remain in this event. Still 1/3 of the event to go, 200 laps into it. Looks like we're going to be good for about 340 laps or so for the distance on this one. Nowhere near the record pace we've seen in years past, but still, we got a whole lot of green flag laps coming up now. These guys now are able to play and have fun out there, get their laps in, match the rhythm. Might be a couple of replacement drivers. We've seen that in years past. It gets tiresome. Back in the day when these cars did not even have power steering, power brakes like they do now. Driving this long distance on the old stock class cars that weighed in about 3,600 pounds. The lightweight cars, we still checking in about 3,200 pounds. It was a very, very tiresome work. A lot of work for the drivers. Probably one of the heaviest cars out there is going to be Warren. Holy cow, Matt Smith all over the place. Warren, that number 8 machine, one of the heavier cars. Ditto the 03 of Schaefer, though still based on the stock chassis. Ditto also the 70 machine of Sloan out there. That's an old Bill Tunney Jr. design for those of you that follow the Tunney family out there. Bill Tunney Jr. is the father of Ben, Jesse, and Austin Tunney. Jesse right now struggling to stay up with the leaders, running 5th place in the number 1 car. And once again, we're just counting up the laps. 1 hour, 6 minutes remain in the event. Starting to tiptoe time. This is where you get your rhythm in once again. And we'll try to set the field once again. It's Mark Tunney, your leader, in the 3T machine. Head through the stripe right now. Full straightaway behind is going to be the 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr. Still on the lead lap, 224 laps completed for those cats. Then a couple laps off the pace is going to be the 87 of Matt Smith, battling with this number 17 of Cory Harmon. Keep that in mind that the 87 and 17 are running for position now. Matt Smith, the rookie, is 3rd in this race right now. A rookie is running 3rd. Some of the best rookie finishes we ever had include Rodney Sizemore getting a 2nd many moons ago. So that gives you an idea. A very, very good run for Matt Smith right now. So Matt Smith, the rookie, running 3rd at this point. 4th place is going to be Cory Harmon, the number 17 car. 5th place is Jesse Tunney's number 1. After that, you're going to have Artie Ware in 6th place. 7th place, Tommy St. John. 8th place is Bobby Corbin. 9th place is Chris Harmon, continuing to fade back. And Buddy Vertrees up to 10th. Another note to make, Mark Harmon and the Harmon family, another one has been able to accomplish that 2nd place finish for a rookie. Got a little reminder of that one courtesy of Scott Nye, Speedrome statistician here. Keeping me honest here and keeping the stats rolling for us. But again, that could be one of the stories here. It's going to be a Matt Smith top 3 finish. Could be an interesting podium finish for a rookie here, especially with this field we had here this year. 229 laps, 1 hour, 4 minutes, 50 seconds remain. A long way to go in this race. The car, the driver, they start getting wore down now. Did you have the right tires? Did you have enough fuel? Did you plan it right? Look for some possible green flag stops here if the pressure gets too great. Your leaders, Mark Tunney in the 3 and Hadley in the 4, are going to have to start looking towards fuel management now. How many laps can they do? Through the crossover, Mark Tunney dares it all, including the Eugene Warden 8 machine. The big machine almost became a player in that one. And Mark Tunney now across the bow of the 29 of Tommy St. John. Keep in mind now, these other guys are trying to make up laps. They don't want to give an inch either. They've got their own battles going again. It's Mark Tunney, this time across the bow of cousin Jesse Tunney. That number 1 car with the battered passenger side, driver's side door, I should say. Oh boy, Mark Tunney's now got out of rhythm. This is one thing that cost him here in the 1 hour race that wrapped up the Speedrome Late Model Championship. Got out of the rhythm. Whoa, you do not want to dare Cory Harmon. Those two have a history. Mark Tunney in the 3T, Cory Harmon in the 17 have a history down south at the Sportsdrome. And it amazed me, Mark Tunney willing to take the chance, but Cory Harmon running clean out there. Did not take a stab at it when he had a shot at it. There we go. Tunney now with another gap. He's now found a rhythm there. I believe may have decided to settle into a comfortable rhythm as he's like that gap there right around Cory Harmon and Jesse Tunney. Again, hits the same mark. This is what we talk about when we talk about rhythm. You try hitting the same holes. You watch them develop. These racers, they'll tell you that they usually look across the track when they get to the ends to figure out where their next hole is going to be. And Mark Tunney right now has got a tough decision time. Oh, Jesse Tunney and Doug Gregg have their own little battle there going on right there at the crossover. Whoa, tiptoe again. It's Mark Tunney this time. And Mark Tunney, I'm going to have to check lap times. He is slowing down. Mark Tunney down to a 17.4. Going to keep, oh, he's got crossover traffic again. Mark Tunney down to an 18.8. I'm warning, man, we got a yellow flag, yellow flag, yellow flag. Car up into the wall in turn 3 of the 8. Yellow flag comes out. Car's into the wall in turn 3 of the 8. And I'm curious now, will we see a pit stop from Mark Tunney and or Mike Hadley Jr.? Tunney was slowing down those last couple of laps. This is going to bunch up that battle for the lead with Hadley snaking his way through a little bit. May have improved a couple of positions there, and yep. And there it is, Mark Tunney going in the pits. Your leader in the pits, as is the 4, Mike Hadley Jr. A yellow flag situation, car stalled on the track, just what the doctor ordered, to grab a splash of fuel and a quick drink. They both follow each other. They're going to be in the back row. Clear the pit lanes. Look out, here they come. They are not going to slow down. I tell you what, if you want to be less one child, let them run around right now. Frantic work in the pit area right now. Fueling operations going in. Right now, we're going to hold them on the track and keep the pace going. We still have the car there in turn 3. Nobody's waiting for anybody out there. The 21 of Riddle returns. As soon as we get the machine hooked up over there, it's going to stick with the pack we've got right now. The 87 of Matt Smith is going to be taking over the lead when they cross the stripe. As near as I figured, let's double check with that one here. He's on the same lap as the leaders now when they cross the stripe. We'll see if we're going to do the shuffle to pick up and give everybody their lap back, or they're going to keep the pack running. Here's the other big news here. Cory Harmon is back in the game. Well, let's break it down for you. Matt Smith, when he crosses the line, will take the lead. When Matt Smith crosses the line, he will take the lead. Second place will be the 4 of Hadley. Third place will be the 3 of Tunney, getting up barely in time, beating the crossover. So here you go, your brand new leader, car number 87, Matt Smith. The rookie is leading the race. Second place, Mike Hadley Jr. in the 4. Third place, the 3T Mark Tunney. Those cars all at lap 239. 1 lap down, Cory Harmon in the 17. Cory Harmon 17, 4th place, 1 lap down. But Harmon, I don't believe, well, unless he got a splash of fuel in that earlier mix-up, Harmon maybe put himself in a good position right now. Just under 1 hour remains, 239 laps into it. And we've got a brand new leader, ladies and gentlemen, Matt Smith. Now keep in mind, these other cars there stay where they're at in the pack. We're going to go green with that front row, have a chance to get their lap back. But they're going to do it with the green flag coming out. So again, brand new leader, Matt Smith in the 87, but I don't believe he's had a chance to pit for fuel, tires, a brake, a potty brake, or any of that stuff. I don't think it really matters to Matt right now. He is a rookie leading the World Championship 3-hour figure 8 endurance race. '87 of Matt Smith coming to the stripe once again. He's going to have Hadley's number 4, Mark Tunney's number 3 right behind. Matt Smith has been chugling on along. What kind of lap times he getting? 18.017. What time this next time by for Matt Smith? See what his lap times are like. Whoa, crossover traffic, including Vertrees. Smith leads that one, 17.810 seconds. But here comes Hadley and Tunney. Again, Smith with the advantage, under 1 hour remaining, 243 laps into it. But there goes Hadley around Smith for the lead. Hadley now takes over the lead at the stripe. And you got Hadley in the 4, Smith in the 87, and Tunney in the 3. 1, 2, 3, Hadley pulling away now. And Mark Tunney's got his hands full trying to get around the 74 of Hargraves. Oh, around goes Larson. Collected up by the 29 of St. John. Hadley used that for an advantage out there. Larson stalls at the crossover, facing the wrong way and the wrong side of town. And we're going to have to go yellow once again. Zach Larson waving for relief out there and going to pick up your leader, the 4 machine of Hadley. What we're going to have to avoid here is now messing up the leaderboard there. So again, this tail of the tape, the 4 machine of Hadley. Back up in front, second place on the lead lap, the 87 of Matt Smith. Third place on the lead lap, lap 246, the 3T of Mark Tunney. 1 lap down, the 17 of Cory Harmon. And it looks like Harmon taking the advantage here to dive in the pits for a splash and go. If the crew can get Harmon back out again, he's definitely still in contention for this one, as wild as this race gets. .56 minutes, 22 seconds remain. Trying to reset the scoring lineup as they cross the line in the appearance of the yellow. It's easier to do now that we've got fewer cars to keep tabs on. So again, if there seems to be a couple of delays because we are trying to reset the lineup and the order they pass the line. It's an ongoing battle with these cats, but we do the best we can at all times. We appreciate you folks hanging with us through all this, whether you're online or on site. It's been a pleasure to be with you here tonight, folks. Hope you're all having fun in the stands or out there at your homes, at your workplace, driving cross country in your semi when you're supposed to be watching the road. Instead, you're watching the tiny little screen. And Robert seems to think that LeBron James has a chance to win the 3 hour. Well, anything is possible.
He might be here.
Do enough drugs. What?
I said LeBron might be here somewhere.
All I can tell you is they want LeBron James to win. Okay. Hadley still a chance 2 in a row. Let's get a good finish. Matthew on board. The battle is definitely between Hadley and Tunney, but Matt Smith is going to be the spoiler now. Go to bed, Brayton. Go to bed, Brayton. Buck Owen's back with us. Have some fun with the tweets. My shirt says Mark Tunney is a team Sportsdrome kind of guy. Hey, for 20 bucks, I'll be on your t-shirt too. Chelsea Lanham, welcome on board. Go RD Ware for all senior citizens watching. Scott Keene, best used cars in it. Scott, you just got a shout out on the Tweeterverse there. Here you go, free ads. It's Cassius Keene here at the Speedrome. Getting ready to go green here in just a second. 54 minutes, 21 seconds remain. Thank you, Kyle Bird. Good luck with the kidlet there. By the way, Kyle, when are you going to run this race someday? Looking forward to you. Lisa Bell in the house, ladies and gentlemen, keeping us all honest. Appreciate all you good fans. Looks like still got the nachos ready to eat there. Gligma wishing bad luck on the 3T of Mark Tunney. See what happens out there. He may get hit, he may get lit, you never know. They're on fire now, getting ready to go green. Battle for the lead. Hadley in the 4, Smith in the 87, Tunney in the 3. We have lost Cory Harmon for the moment. Cory Harmon now dropping back in the count. 5 laps down. That's going to move Jesse Tunney up. 3 laps down for Jesse Tunney, that #1 machine. And I'm waiting for those wings to fall off the big machine Eugene Warden's car. The flying 8 ball there, still rolling though, and still going. Warden up to 14th now on the scoring. 70 laps off the pace, but still 14th place for Eugene Warden, the best of the ARCA drivers here tonight. Hadley back up in front, followed by Tunney and Smith. Hadley, Tunney, Smith through the south end of the racetrack, head northbound once again. Crossover action. Schaefer through the X. Schaefer's one of those guys making his way up the climbing up the rankings now, up to 16th place for Ricky Schaefer in the Stalker 03. He's going to be another fellow that's going to be running for contention now for top stalker. I have to check on the build there on Eugene Warden, see if he's in contender here for the stock award, the Art Groom Memorial Award. See what's going to happen with Warden. He's going to have a battle here coming up with a 03 of Schaefer, both of them getting their laps in. The other fellow is counting in on that one's going to be the Logsdon 0 machine coming in from the Extreme 8 class out of the Sportsdrome. Looks like Logsdon is down for the count at this point. Whoa, through the crossover, Doodle Ferris once again has to be worried a little bit. 10th place for Doodle Ferris, though, as he continues to score laps of this one. And Zach Larson returns. Zach Larson returns for all you folks west of the Rockies. Zach Larson is back on the track there in the number 83. A bunch of walking wounded out there. Cory Harmon returns in the 17. Cory Harmon returns, makes it out just in time to hold on to 6th place now. 9 laps off the leader's pace, though. Oh, Cory Harmon through the crossover, had decision time. As Hadley in the 4 and Mark Tunney in the 3 pull away now from the pack. They've got the advantage going through the north end of the racetracks as Cory Harmon's running the 8 like the master out there. I tell you what, the aggressive driving continues to pay off. Cory Harmon still the top finish. Ricky Archer heads for the backstretch. Cory Harmon through the crossover right across the bow of the 29 machine of St. John. St. John has plenty of reason to hold his head high, though. The rookie holding on to 6th place, probably 7th place now for Tommy St. John out there in that number 29 machine. Hadley and Tunney through the crossover. They make it through once again as traffic continues to stay heavy. 51 minutes, 20, make it 18, 17 seconds remain. And they've paired up now. Looks like they got some traffic coming up. The 03 of Schaefer and the 17 of Cory Harmon through the crossover once again. They dive on through, make it on through, no problem there. This is now where a couple of those fellas added on as alternates start moving on up in the rankings. They're able to get their laps in, make their marks, get their times in, and move on up and get a little bit better spot at the pay window. Hadley beating the crossover action with Tommy St. John still in the mix out there. Great run for the little kid. looking good out there. Hadley continuing to pull away. Lap times for Mike Hadley. How about 16.762 for Mike Hadley that last lap? 1.6762 would have put you in the starting grid just about, and Hadley's turning those at race speeds, at race conditions. "50 minutes, 19 seconds remain." 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. About 20 cars still on the track. Turning laps. Whoa, through the crossbar, Zach Larson. That time by Matt Smith's got a little decision time as well. A couple guys got the battles going on out there. Battles on the track. Obviously, you got the leaders, the 4 of Hadley, 3T of Mark Tunney, and the 87 of Matt Smith. Everybody else is pretty well stretched out. I think the only thing close I got to a battle for position, the 41 of Buddy Vertrees, 2 laps ahead of the 29 of Bobby Corbin. And then after that, the Greg 33 has surpassed, I believe, the 77 of Garrigus. Nope, both still on the track. So those 2 cars are technically running for position as well. Way back down, though we won't say how far down. That's for 11th and 12th. Give a big shout out, Doodle Ferris up to 10th place right now in the number 48 machine for the Wright Mechanical Squad. Another one of the folks from the Bluegrass State looking good out here tonight. Doodle Ferris getting her done. Speaking of which, she has to check it up at the crossover. Continue to watch. Oh, Doug Gregg's tiptoeing through there as well. And Eugene Warden, once again, part of the highlights tape. Donnie Sloan takes it sideways. He pulls back onto the track. No, yes, no. Trying to find a gap now to cut on through. He'll have some clear sailing here in just a second. And Donnie Sloan gets a 70 rolling once again. No sign of anybody else coming to the gate at the moment. Nope, Sloan is going to head for the pit gate himself. The 7 machine of Donnie Sloan heading for the pit gate. Currently running 28th, about 172 laps off the leader's pace. Donnie Sloan's been coming in and out of the pits here, trying to get the laps in. Move on up some. Through the crossover goes the 17 of Harmon. So the last of the Harmons left running, the 17 of Cory Harmon out there. 2 Tunneys still left alive. The 3 of Mark Tunney currently running 2nd, and the 1 of Jesse Tunney currently running 4th. And my other family connection, the Garrigus clan, being represented by the 77 of Donnie Garrigus III, running 12th right now. If you're keeping tabs on Speedrome versus Sportsdrome, Mike Hadley, Matt Smith, Jesse Tunney, Tommy St. John, those were actually the only ones that are regular part of our weekly series here at the Speedrome. Mark Tunney was only here for the big races. Ditto for Doug Gregg. Sportsdrome, though, represented obviously by Artie Ware, Cory Harmon, Buddy Vertrees, Bobby Corbin, pardon me. So 3 independents, a couple Sportsdromers, a couple Speedromers in the top 10 right now. Still plenty left to go wrong, plenty left to go right for guys out there. 273 laps, 47 minutes remain, 46 minutes, 59 seconds remain in this event. Replay of the lead change there, replay that restart there as action happening back in the pack there, setting the setup now for the final 45 minutes of this race. Counting down the final 45 minutes, and it's back to the lead battle there between Mark Tunney in the 3T and Mike Hadley Jr. in the 4 machine. Running nose to tail, they're going to have former winner Doug Gregg, 2-time champion Doug Gregg as a pick. And check out my laps time once again. Mark Tunney, 17.389. Mike Hadley, 17.094 in traffic. Was watching Mark Tunney's lap times earlier. 17.325 that time for Mark Tunney, 17.315 for Mike Hadley. Mark Tunney's lap times earlier were slowing down. We saw him earlier in the 16-second range repeatedly, 16.7, 16.8s. But then, holy cow, as Charlie Hargraves beats him at the crossover. Now Mark Tunney with some fairly clear sailing, 17.297 that last lap. Holy cow, into the wall goes the 33 of Gregg. Is that going to be the Corbin car? No, the 38 of Ware. So 33 of Doug Gregg, the 38 of Artie Ware, plowing into the Speedrome concrete right over there, trying to check in, get some classes with Lincoln Tech over there. Ware pulls away and checking for damage up front. It looks like he's got a left front flat. Keep in mind, Artie Ware was running 5th at the time, only 10 laps off the pace. This is going to cost him. He was actually in the battle for position with Cory Harmon. But Ware in the pit area. Flat left front tire. Again, heads up in the pits. Cars coming through. 03 of Schaefer also heading in the pits. Leaders, once again, your leaderboard. The 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., and the 87 of Matt Smith, all on the lead lap, 279 laps into this 3-hour event. 3 laps down, the 1 of Jesse Tunney running 4th. 10 laps down, the 17 of Cory Harmon running 5th. 6th place, still being scored 6th place. Artie Ware now 11 laps off the pace in 6th place with 38 of Artie Ware. 7th place is the rookie, the 29 of Tommy St. John, 15 laps down. And then you got a big gap. 8th place is held by Buddy Vertrees, 45 laps back. 9th place goes to Donnie Garrigus, the 3rd, 60 laps back. And he's now battling for position with the 48 of Doodle Ferris, who's running 10th. The 29 of Tommy St. John returns. Jesse Tunney's still on the racetrack. 3 laps down. 1 to go signal being given to the field this next time by. Watching for Artie Ware, one of the best prepared crews, one of the best looking cars, although I still like Zach Larson's the mostest. Oh, sorry, Matthew. I've been saying from the very beginning, watch out for Doodle. Well, that is one of the warnings they usually give at school crossings. Watch out for the Doodle. And by the way, that's one thing I think got Bill Cosby in trouble. Sabrina Bishop, go Artie Ware, go Mark Tunney, go Mason Hadley Jr. You might want to cheer on people who are actually in the race next time, Sabrina. Love you, though. Thanks for the props. Jeff Jansen back on board. Shout out to the T3 from Sharon Cox. And yes, we know. Okay, never mind. That one slipped by the sensors there. Way to go, Jeff. You got me on that one. Oh, they're telling me now, getting the shout out from pit side, that Chad Sizemore has climbed into Zach Larson's number 83 car. Interesting situation now. Now, keep in mind, points and money go to Zach Larson's. The record book goes to Zach Larson, but it'll be a little footnote there. A little tick there on Scott Nye's record book there. There's going to be Chad Sizemore behind the wheel. So Artie Ware returns back on the racetrack, holds on to that 6th place position now. 3T of Mark Tunney, 4 of Mike Hadley, and losing contact with leaders, the 87 of Matt Smith. At the drop of the green, it's going to be Tunney down to a 17.1. And that could be the tail right there. If these cats have all slowed down, track is a little bit slicker, a little bit greasier, a little bit wetter. But thank you, Bruce, for the update on that one. That's been an interesting little change down the facts there. If indeed that's true, that's going to be an interesting driver change. Now, we knew some background with Corey Turner spent a lot of time on the West Coast there, but he dropped out early. The Double Zero car just not up to snuff this year for Cory Turner. I thought maybe we'd see him climbing into one of the Larson's cars, but no. Chad Sizemore getting the nod out there. Interesting choice. We'll see what he's able to do with it. As it's going to be Tunney and Hadley once again up in front. 41 minutes, 36 seconds remains. Schaefer in the 03 back on the track, running 18th right now for Ricky Schaefer. 102 laps down, but I tell you what, he's top 20. That's a little bit more money, a little bit more green stuff, a little bit more lettuce. And every lap counts here. Every lap counts. Continue to lift the front end of the car. Curious if that's intentional, though. The nose coming up there on Mark Tunney, 17.031, but Hadley did a 16.891, chased him back down. Hadley's been running faster laps than Tunney here lately. This could come into play as Jeff Armour's returned to the track in the number 10 machine. The battle of the 21s. Looks like Mike Riddle is about 6 laps away from catching up to the 21A of Richie Arthur to take over 19th spot on the scoring. Riddle having his share of grief out here tonight. This could be an interesting one coming up. Both Leaders now slow down to the 17.5 second range. They got crossover traffic through the X right across the bow of the 29 of Tommy St. John. And they continue to crank out the speeds. I'm trying to see if anybody else got any kind of speed out there. Nobody else is in the 16-second range at this point. 17.052 for Mark Tunney. He's able to get back into the low 17s. Crossover action across the bow of Jesse Tunney's number 1 as the 21 Richie Arthur. He heard the call. We'll now have the 21A of Richie Arthur and 21 plane of Mike Riddle Jr. to battle out the battle of the 21s. Right now, Arthur has a 3-lap advantage in that battle. For those of you keeping track of these things, like Scott Nye does. All righty, through the crossover once again for your leaders, right across the bow of the 17 to Cory Harmon. Cory Harmon holding on to 5th place, 11 laps back from the leaders. Matt Smith getting swallowed up once again here as he's having trouble, struggling out there. He's going to be swallowed by your leaders. Smith in heavy traffic. You got the 0-3 of Schaefer right in front of him. He's going to have to try and battle real hard there to stay up in front now. It's clear sailing for the leaders. Matt Smith has a pack of cars to contend with in 3rd place. He's trying to stay on the lead lap. 80 machine of Donnie Murphy now trying to make up for lost ground, holding on to 14th place, 86 laps back. But Murphy now, the 80 machine's got it sailing, working pretty good for him. Through the crossover once again, around goes the 10 machine of Armor. As the 80 of Murphy there right across the bow of Mark Tunney kept him guessing there for a little bit. So Jeff Armour continuing to count up some laps. 38 minutes, 44 seconds remain. 295 laps into it as Richie Arthur goes around the 21 machine. Arms get tired, legs get tired. The car is hot, the car is smelly. You're thirsty, you got to go to the bathroom. Everything else starts wearing and tearing down. And this is when it truly shows who's got the stuff. Who's had an, holy cow, it's Armored in the back end of Garrigus. And we're going to go yellow once again. Oh man. Rudely mounting him like a Pekingese. I'll tell you what, Jeff Armour in the 10 all over the backside of Donnie Garrigus the 3rd. You see both cars trying to get back a growing again. This is going to save Matt Smith from going a lap down. Yes, it does. So Matt Smith is going to be able to stay on the lead lap. 297 laps completed. 37 minutes, 50 seconds remain. And those two are hooked up at the end game now. 37 minutes remain, though. We'll try to clear the Richie Arthur machine back out of the way. Riddle is now within 1 lap of winning the battle of the 21s. Oh, we get the two separated. Flat tire for the right front of Armour. And both head into the pit area, get the fix made, repairs made, so we may be able to get this rolling here real soon. Pace truck has the field once again under control. Tail of the tape once again. Your leader, Mark Tunney, the 3T. 2nd place, Mike Hadley in the 4. 3rd place, Matt Smith in the 87. 4th place, 3 laps down, the 1 of Jesse Tunney. 5th place, 10 laps down, the 17 of Cory Harmon. Remember, he's got a full tank of fuel though by now. 6th place, the 38 of Artie Ware, 12 laps back. 7th place, another rookie, Tommy St. John in the 29, 15 laps back. And then the guys way down in the count. The 41 of Buddy Vertrees is 8th place with 46 laps behind. 9th place is held by Doodle Ferris now, 62 laps back. And Doug Gregg is holding on to 10th place, 63 laps off the pace. Trying to stop some guys from doing some passing there on the yellows. Shiner Sutton has returned after breaking the axle, busting the wheel off that car, and Shiner Sutton is back in action. Invisible Christie getting the repairs made along with the little brother there, and Shiner Sutton returns to the track in the number 32. Mike Riddle Jr. is back in the number 21 as well to win the battles. No, he has not yet won the battle of the 32s. He's still now 2 laps behind Richie Arthur's number 21. trying to get the rows back up in the order they crossed the line, the appearance of the yellow. So again, the game plan was to try to restore the lineup as they're running in the appearance of the yellow. Now, some of you might remember in years past the utter chaos that was the highlight. There we go, the 17 of Cory Harmon, the 80 of Donnie Murphy. Sabrina Bishop supporting our races, Indiana. Bad they already kissed the wall, but he's back out there again. Sportsdrome, looking good. Sponsor decal looking good. There you go, Sabrina Bishop. Happy that his sponsor's decal has survived. Show off the decal, Sabrina Bishop says to Artie Ware right now. Artie Ware would just like to show everybody his tail and give him a show on the track. But he does appreciate the folks paying the bills. Thank you all, Sabrina Bishop, everybody in the Tweeterverse. Again, you thanks to you good people in the stands. If you didn't get it already, make sure you grab your Souvenir Speedrome t-shirt down there at the souvenir stand. Got those on sale. Still got the cold beer flowing. Still got some food and other goodies for you as well. Those who've been over the years. Okay, Ligma, I don't think we want to put that one down, but congratulations, little Missy. I'm surprised you shared that with us. I don't know if you're bragging, which side of the aisle you're bragging from. Again, trying to reset the lineup at the time they crossed the line. So the Jesse, 29 and 38 after that, yep. 33 minutes, 52 seconds remain. 300 laps, 300 laps. We are 300 laps into this one. It will obviously not be a new distance record. Not a new distance record. And be a couple of new stats there going all around. Now we only have a couple in the five. Let's see what we got joining the 300 lap club, 400 lap club. I guess we don't have a 300 lap club, do we? Records that should be following on this one. Looks like Mark Tunney should be passing Freddie Bear for all-time career laps led by the end of this. Chris Harmon has a chance of passing Doug Gregg for career laps led as well. So a couple of guys might switch some positions there in the final countdown. And here we go. Mark Tunney immediately beats the drag to the start-finish line. Mike Hadley right behind. Matt Smith back in the pack once again. The 73 of the Zach Larson and/or Chad Sizemore makes it way back out on the racetrack. A couple laps down, but continuing to tick laps in. That's what it's all about. Getting the lap count done. Last lap from Mark Tunney, 17030. Nobody's out there doing their 16-second laps anymore, that's for sure, as the track has gotten slick. Cars are getting tired. Tires are getting bald, and it's getting a little dicey. Still traffic at the crossover there, with just a little over a half hour remaining. 304 laps into the books. Still on the track out there, clicking away the laps. The 8 of Eugene Warden continues to count them up. I have to give a shout out to a couple of the new kids on the block. 3 rookies already looking good out there. 3 rookies in the top 20. The 87 of Matt Smith, the 29 of Tommy St. John, and the 8 of Eugene Warden, all running in the top 20, now running top 12, I should say. Also Richie Arthur, the 21A, also another rookie in the top 20. So there you go, a couple of rookies with some great runs out there. Cory Harmon continued to get the laps away, still holding on to 5th place, 10 laps off the pace. But the leaderboard up in front. Oh, they got crossover traffic through the X, right across the bow of the 3rd place car, 87 of Matt Smith. Mark Tunney in the 3, Mike Hadley in the 4, and again you see Hadley having to tuck right behind Mark Tunney. They got the barest of a gap out there to cut on through, and they make it. And they got decision time once again across the bow, this time the 38 of Ware. Remember, Artie Ware is still running 6th place as well. He's also contention now. He knows he's always just one bad accident away from getting back up there with the boys. All it takes one bit of bad luck, and you're back in the game here at the 3 hour. 3 machine of Mark Tunney, 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr., 87 of Matt Smith. 4th place, Jesse Tunney, 3 laps down in the number 1 car. Battle damaged cars all over. Warren's got most of the passenger side missing. Garrigus has got a good chunk of his body falling off. We've had the whole driver's side of the 74 of Hargraves falling off of his car. Jesse Tunney's taking a couple good solid licks, bunched in the door of his ride. Oh man, that's what the 3 hours all about. It's survival, it's endurance, it's getting there to the end. Oh, contact at the crossover. Just a kiss there from the 83 of Larson, 21 of Riddle. And that is going to slow down Riddle's chance to take over the battle of the 21s. And that is a battle down there for 19th and 20th spot overall in the race. Following that crossover traffic, I tell you what, it continues to be hot and heavy all the way. 29 minutes, 37 seconds remain. And I do the countdowns, you folks at home. Usually we would have a clock actually ticking for you. We do have one for you down at the bottom of the screen. My folks here at the stands, though, and folks following me on the radio broadcast, they can't always make out the signboard we got, so we try to keep them a rundown here of the actual time clock on the game. Overall, since the beginning of this race, we are actually approaching now 3 hours since the drop of the green, not counting red flag time. So actually we are past the 3 hour mark on the clock, but as far as race time, we still have a half hour to go. 29 minutes, now 28 minutes and change. Doodle Ferris way down low on the middle of the racetrack, looking for a soft place to land and heading for the pits again. Stand by in the pit area. Doodle Ferris back in the pits. The 48 Doodle Ferris, 11th place, back in the pits for Doodle Ferris. Leaders run into a little bit of traffic. They get clear of it and got a bit of clear standing at the crossover. Back to the 17.2, 17.3 second laps for your top dogs. And we got the pace truck, got yellow flight out. And your announcer lost track of the radio traffic, had to turn it down. Looks like a chunk of something. Oh, there we go. A nice little round piece of something there rolling down. You might want to be careful grabbing that with your bare hands, Chief. Nope, it's not hot. Every now and then, that's a surprising piece of exhaust. A piece like that, you may wonder why, with everything else that falls on the track, well, that piece like that can end up getting popped up in a hurry. Spring there, as the folks on TV can see it up close. Somebody's lost a spring. That's just, I can tell you, as one that used to be in charge of cleaning this racetrack, that's nothing, son. That's nothing. We used to find good chunks of the transmission. We'd find all sorts of stuff out there. Spare change, lots of spare change. Up, collecting a couple souvenirs there for the track official. He comes out turn number 4, heads up the front stretch there. Just staying inside the wheel fence, drops him off and heads back in. Trying to reset the lineup now in the order they were crossing. The yellow came out again. Had to stop that one for that spring. That has a very, very nasty habit of getting kicked just right, and up the stands it goes. And somebody's going to end up with a lucky mouthful. Watching the pit gate, don't see anybody approaching just yet to come back out on the racetrack. Again, keep tabs. I see a couple of youngsters out there romping around. Please keep tabs on your little ones in the pit area. Getting down to the end game here. 26 minutes, 46 seconds, 45 seconds remain. 318 laps into it. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure and an honor to be here all night long. New top 10. The 77 machine of Donnie Garrigus III. 73 laps back, up to 10th place. Doug Gregg, 64 laps back, up to 9th place for this number 33 car. Buddy Vertrees holds on to 8th place in the 41 car, 46 lap off the pace. And then still in contention, we have to call it, the 7th place car, the 29 of Tommy St. John, 15 laps down. 6th place, the 38 of R.D. Ware, 12 laps down. 5th place, Cory Harmon maintains 10 laps down, holds on to 5th place. 1st place is still Jesse Tunney in the number 1, 4 laps off the pace. And then your lead lap cars, the 87 of Smith in 3rd, the 4 of Hadley in 2nd, and the 3T of Mark Tunney holds on to the lead. Mark Tunney will take over Looks like he may even pass Dwayne Lee. He may move up to 6th place in the career laps led category here. Gets another mark. He's going to tie with Mike St. John for career races led. Career laps completed. We don't have anybody set to move up much there. Doug Gregg continues to lead that category, about 2,000 laps ahead of Leonard Basham, who's, hey Leonard, how you doing? Leonard Basham still holds the record for most races run here in the 3-hour history. 33 of the 42 races Leonard Basham partook in. Second on the list, Bill Tunney Jr., father of Jesse, Ben, and Austin. Third on that list, 28 races, Doug Gregg. Added his 29th race today. Steve Frost is 4th. He adds his maybe 28 races for him now. Donnie Garrigus, let's see. Nope, the West really adding the special ones on that one. So there you go. Somebody, Aaron Thornberry, not liking Jeff Armour. Well, I tell you what, he's still in the race. I have to join with Buck Owens there, wondering who or what is Ligma. I'm worried that maybe this whole time I've been saying something that's a dirty language in Slovenian or something. Thanks for the coverage. Glad the rain stopped. Ronnie Sadler, you are not alone with that one, son. But boy, oh boy, my tomato plants are looking good. Racing, come get it, boys. Supper's hot. Could you at least put a girl picture up there next time for that one, son? I'll tell you what, you weren't scaring me. It gets lonely up here in the announcer's booth. Don't do that. 4 machine of Mike Hadley, the 3 machine of Mark Tunney, up front and personal. Not far behind, the 87 of Matt Smith, still on the lead lap. Here we go. 23 minutes, 38 seconds remain. Can we get it to the end now? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 cars still remain on the track. There are a couple of racetracks here. Their figure 8 division doesn't have 20 cars run all season long. And after 2 hours and 40 minutes, we basically still have 20 cars running on the end of this one. Holy cow, through the crossover, right across the bow of Ricky Schaefer's 03 machine. And the Fireboy has been a part of a highlights tape here of his own, running 17th place so far for the Stalker and hanging on tough. A lot of good word all throughout the stands and the runnings in this one. Do appreciate all you folks staying late here in the stands and on the grounds and on the internet here as we try to get this one in. 22, just over 22 minutes remain, 324 laps into it. Garrigus in the 77 through the crossover. Again, the last of the running Garrigus clan out here tonight, as the leaders continue to pull away from the 87 of Matt Smith and head off in their own little exclusive territory through the crossover. They take it nose to tail, and I do believe at this point that Hadley in the 4 is content to let Mark Tunney lead the way. That puts the pressure on Mark to make a mistake, which doesn't happen very often for Mark Tunney. And Hadley can sit there and use the holds that Mark finds. Now the problem with that is you get complacent. You get to worrying more about keeping your distance with the guy in front instead of what's going on the sides. We'll see what happens, see if it works out for him. What kind of lap times they doing? 17.2 second lap, 17.226. We've got the 21 of Riddle into the wall. 21 Mike Riddle Jr. going to have a chance to get off the wall on his own. Again, Riddle losing the battle of the 21s to Richie Arthur. And we finally have to go yellow. I thought maybe we'd finally make it all the way. We do not. As Mike Riddle Jr. backs it back down into traffic. Mike Riddle Jr., high hopes out there. Brand new skin, brand new engine from the folks at Certified, but just has not gone his way. Heavy traffic and other issues. Career best finish has been 11th so far. This will be his 7th 3-hour. Winner here at the Speedrome and the Anderson High Bank Speedway in his career. That's where he started.
Well, Tori, we're going to have about 20 minutes for 20 G's. It's going to be a shootout.
Coming down to the closing minutes now. 21 minutes remain. 20 minutes remain here in a second. But I'll tell you what, running out of time. 329 laps completed so far, and still 3 cars together on the lead lap. Man, oh man. And it thinks people are paying $100 a ticket out for the Brickyard. Watch that get rained out. Shoot, we gave you 4 days getting rained out for less than that. Jesse Tunney back in the pits in the number 1 machine. The one of Jesse Tunney goes back in the pits. He's already 6 laps down, holding on to 4th place. But he charges back in the pits, see if it works out for him. One of those cases, it's not going to hurt him too bad with a slow pace lap. But now we do have the 21 of Riddle hooked up. He knows we're going to be fast back to green here. So hopefully whatever he's got taken care of, he's going to take care of it quick. Pit area right there by the pit gate. They can watch the track and crew immediately to servicing the 1 machine of Jesse Tunney. Holding on to 4th place right now, 7 laps down. Run you down here again. It's Tunney, Hadley, Smith. There's we've been talking about. Jesse Tunney in 4th, 7 laps down. 5th place is Cory Harmon, 10 laps down. 6th place, Artie Ware, 12 laps down. Tommy St. John, 7th place, 15 laps down. Vertrees holds on to 8th place still with 46 laps off the pace. And you go back a big ton of laps back there to the 33 of Greg, 64 laps down, and 74 laps down for the 10th place car, the 77 of Donnie Garagos III. Eugene Warden is top dog in the ARCA cars, running 11th place with the 8 machine. The big machine still holding on. Also a run of the rookie racer. How many career laps has Chris led? Oh, Jiminy Christmas. You're going to make me go to the stats, eh? I've not added on the ones for this one, obviously. But we were looking at those laps here just a little bit ago. Career laps led. And not enough to make the top 10 list, I'll tell you that. How's that? That's the best answer I got for you. London, somebody, let's see, Scott LaRock, Ligma's autocorrect tool on Google. Thank you for correcting me on that one. What was it originally before the autocorrect kicked in, though? That's what I want to know. And back to green we go. Three of Mark Tunney, 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., 87 of Matt Smith. Not making it out, the 1 of Jesse Tunney left at the gate. Now this could hurt him here. They're going 9 laps down. They're going to be passed by Cory Harmon here in a little bit. For a position on the track, Cory Harmon's going to be taking over 4th place here this next lap. 17C of Cory Harmon. Dre take over 4th place, coming around. Actually, no, it's going to put on the same lap as Jesse. Watching the lap count go by, trying to figure out when he's finally going to get around. Nope, Jesse made it back out. I stand corrected. I lost track of him in the pack there. Jesse Tunney is still back out there and holding on now to 4th place. But he's just 1 lap ahead of the 17 of Cory Harmon, who holds on to 5th place. So top 3 still in the lead lap with 335 laps completed and 17 minutes, 38 seconds remain. 3 machine of Mark Tunney, 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr. Who'd have thunk it? That would be only 1 Tunney left here on the top spot. We figured we have Tunney battle all over the place. Jesse Tunney, though, I tell you what, in this race, you can't even count out 10 laps down. Anything could happen in the closing minutes, and it has over the years past. Holy cow, everybody checks up there behind the 80 of Murphy. It's just like almost one of those stops there on the interstate where suddenly everybody just comes to a stop for no reason. And you figure maybe because Joey saw a chipmunk, but whatever it is, they all come to a halt out there on the interstate, but they keep on rolling through the crossover right behind the 74 Charlie Hargraves. He's trying to make a highlights tape, but no, my highlights tape tonight is going to be Jeff Armour. The 10, that was Doug Gregg, trying to get his spot out there in the best of series there for the little bitch of TV crew. Holy cow. Piecing it together through the crossover again, and now you got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd all but meeting up at the crossover. That could be a tragedy in the making. I've seen it happen before. Matt Smith's going to check up late. The leader's going by. He goes right across the bow of the other rookie. Battle for top rookie status, the 29 of Tommy St. John. So races within a race include the battle of the rookies, the 87 of Smith, the 29 of St. John, the 8 of Warden. All those guys in top 11 spots. Not a bad run whatsoever for a couple of rookies. 3 of the top 11 are rookies in this race. Not a whole lot of places can have that happen on their big show, but these rookies this year have been that darn good. Smith came on with hundreds of laps practice in last year's 3 hour. Did not hit the track, though, until a couple of fun races. came out, won Rookie of the Year at the Speedrome here in the late model division. Tommy St. John came on late, limited appearances. Holy cow, Cory Harmon stopping hearts there on that one. Tommy St. John there, contender for Rookie of the Year with some great runs, but just did not make enough races there to keep himself in the game. And then Eugene Warden, first time out for him from the ARCA series, come out and play, and he's done exactly the way it's done, and that's he's gotten out there and he has survived lap after lap. The crew has kept him out on the track and getting the job done. Tiptoe through the tulip time now for the 48 Doodle Ferris as he cuts through the X there. And your leaders now coming on around. They're going to be seeing Matt Smith here shortly coming up in their front windshields instead of their side view mirrors. 20,000 to win, 20,000 on the line. Two guys going at it, hammers and tong. And that's going to be the 3T of Mark Tunney and the 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr. Under 15 minutes remain, under 15 minutes remain, under 15 minutes remain with 345 laps in. I don't think we'll have enough time to make it to 400 laps though. Always been one of the goals of these things. Some of those long yellows killing time. Tops 10 still unchanged. Garrigus in the 77 and Greg, your 9th and 10th place cars. Doug Gregg, two-time champion of this race, multiple championships here at the Speedrome. Another top 10 finish for him here tonight. He currently leads all laps completed. And I believe with this run so far, let's see, Greg at this point, another 300 laps so he can get him done. That's going to put him at 9,700 laps completed in the 3 hour, or 9,700 laps completed career-wise in the 3 hour. Oh, through the crossover, the 41 of Virtue's had decision time. The battle of the 21s are going to go, definitely going to go to the 21A of Richie Arthur, though. Mike Riddle Jr. now missing from the surface there is going to lose that battle for the 21 spot. Heavy traffic in front of the leaders, causing a little bit of checkup there. Heavy traffic again in front of Mark Tunney. He's got right behind the Warden and number 8 machine. He's also got Matt Smith just in his sights now. Remember Smith, the other car on the lead lap, on with the Hadley Tunney cabal there, and now they got Matt Smith right on his back bumper. 13 minutes, 20 seconds remain. They pull up on the backside, now pull alongside Matt Smith's number 87. Matt Smith can make it extra wide if he wants to. I think at this point he's content to ride out. Oh, they split around Ricky Schaefer's 03 Stalker. Make it through there. They got Doodle Ferris up in front, and Matt Smith is going to go down 1 lap. The rookie, Matt Smith, goes down 1 lap, but he can hold his head high for being that far ahead there through the game. Great run though, but finally going down the lap. Matt Smith had gone down 2 at one point, got him back, but now finally checking down and checking out. 12:46, 12:44 remain in the race. 352 laps in, and it's going to be a 2-car duel, coming to a 2-car shootout. Tunney in the 3T, Hadley in the 4, and they have now lapped the field. They have lapped the field, just those two by themselves on the lead lap. They slot up right behind the Cory Harmon number 17. A fellow's in contention there. Stay with the leaders. Ran into traffic, ran into problems, ran into grief, ran into mechanical woes. But Cory Harmon also getting his laps in as well. Harmon hanging on to 5th place right now in the 17 machine. Right in front of, oh, they split through the traffic and through the crossover. 12 minutes remain. 12 minutes remain in the showdown. Garrigus in the 77 on the track, getting his laps in for 10th place run so far for him. At this point, the only one with a chance to really move up something solid, I can't believe Eugene Warren continues to soldier that car on through. He's had contact with just about everything out there but the flu bug. Shiner Sutton out there again, putting more laps in the 32 machine. High hopes for him there at the finish. We'll see what happens. But again, these laps continue to clock on by. Remember, we don't know how long it's going to take. It's only got the clock on it. The distance is up to the drivers and the race itself. 11 minutes, 20 seconds remain. 11 minutes, 20 seconds remain. And Mark Tunney's got a bit of a gap now. He's got a 2-car cushion. No, here comes Hadley, cutting his way through. Start checking out lap times again. Mark Tunney's been slowing back down to 17.6, now down to a 17.3. Hadley slowed to a 17.7. through the crossover, right across the bow of the 48 machine of Doodle Ferris, who continues to soldier on through. Ferris running 12th right now. 2 laps behind Eugene Warden for a position. Ferris on the 48 for the Wright Mechanical. One of the fellas came on just in the last couple of years, come fun out of the Kentucky, out of the Bluegrass State. And one of the most popular drivers you could ask for. Friendly guy, nice guy to know. Checking out the lap times again, 17.2 second laps for Mark Tunney. Still able to keep up some championship contention laps here. Tiptoeing through the crossover, trouble running now, the 77 of Garrigus. Trying to get as many laps in as he can. Keep in mind, that's what it counts. That's what it's all about. Through the crossover, right around the Matt Smith machine. So first, second, third again. All meeting up at the crossover once again. And if something goes terribly wrong, Jesse Tunney's going to be there a couple laps back to pick up the pieces. Keep that in mind. If something goes wrong, Jesse Tunney is there about 11 laps back. There's still time for that to happen. Number 83 of Zach Larson, the 41 of Buddy Vertree still on the track. Closing laps, the 1 machine of Jesse Tunney still playing the survival mode, just barely 1 lap ahead of the 17 of Cory Harmon. Jesse Tunney hanging on to 4th place so far. And it's all been a tough battle. Best finish for Jesse career-wise, a 2nd place. That's the best he's been able to muster in 11 races. The only one of the Tunney boys without a 3-hour win. It looks like he's going to be empty-handed once again here in 2018. 8 minutes, 57 seconds remain. Averaging just under 20 seconds a lap, or a minute, I should say. 20 seconds a lap, there we go. So 3 seconds every minute. So you can start mathematically eliminating. There's Mike Riddle come back out again. Not much time to make up a whole lot of laps. Has a chance to pass Chris Harmon. Now Chris Harmon, despite not being on the track here for about an hour, still holds on to 19th place, 169 laps back. That's the nature of the beast here in the 3-hour figure 8 endurance race. You got to get the laps in, you got to get them to count, you got to make them happen out there. With 3 laps a minute, basically we eliminate Jesse Tunney's chances with 4 minutes remaining. So keep that in mind. Jesse Tunney's chances get eliminated if something happens to the leaders after the 4-minute mark. And tiptoe through the crossover for Vertrees in the number 41. Buddy Vertrees continues to excel out there in the tight traffic. Folks said they were wondering if he's going to get his sea legs back under him, but Buddy Vertrees, that 41 machine, has been doing a masterful job out there, getting the job done. Mark Tunney pulling the lead away now. 7 minutes, 35 seconds remain. Mark Tunney with the advantage over Hadley. We pretty much mathematically eliminated everybody from 8th place on back. Buddy Vertrees on back, eliminated from a chance at this win here tonight. Just not enough time to make up the laps. Here in another few minutes, we will eliminate mathematically the chances of the 29 machine of Tommy St. John to win this one as a rookie through the crossover again. The 3 machine of Mark Tunney through heavy traffic. Mike Hadley waiting for something to happen. If something goes wrong, he's there to pick up the pieces through the crossover once again. But running out of time now. Under 7 minutes remain. About time enough for 21 laps. So that basically eliminates everybody. But let's see, Tommy St. John still in contention if a masterful major crash occurs. Tommy St. John basically be eliminated with about 5 minutes left to go. Count him out at that point. Until then, it's all still game. 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., and the 87 of Matt Smith. Now 2 laps down for Matt Smith. 2 laps off the pace for Matt Smith now. He's been slowed ever since that last restart. And at this point, he's just trying to hang on. He's still 10 laps ahead of Cory Harmon for that 3rd position. So looking pretty good for him. If he can just keep doing his laps here, not run out of fuel, he'll have a good shot at holding on to a 3rd place finish for a rookie. Not bad at all. Through the crossover goes the Garrigus 77 again. Now keep in mind, a bunch of these guys, this is literally one of the few races they run every year. Reminds me of the old days again, going back to the ARCA days when Luby Allen, who had already retired from racing, would come back out of retirement just for the 3 hours last couple of years. A little secret they kept from us because the rules required you to be figure eight ready. 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 30 seconds. Leaderboard still basically unchanged as the laps continue to tick down. Mark Tenney continues to pull away. 17.6 second laps, slow laps, but they're enough to stay ahead and away. Oh, through the crossover and across the bow of the one of Jesse Tunney. And with 5 minutes, 10 seconds, I can say we basically have eliminated the chance of Tommy St. John winning this race. With 5 minutes remaining, Tommy St. John is pretty much mathematically eliminated from winning this race now. The 29 machine just too far back to win this one. Next one to be eliminated with a chance to win is going to be the 38 of Artie Ware. At 14 laps down, about one more lap worth, and Artie Ware eliminated, mathematically eliminated from a chance to win this one. Again, remember, it's a time. Holy cow! Vertrees and Riddle came oh so close to disaster there in the closing laps. Two old veterans, I think, getting tired. Oh no, you can't get sloppy this late. Vertrees and Riddle again, this time with Schaefer in the mix. I tell you what, they keep me rolling out here. They keep me rolling, keep me going. And here's what we got showing now. You can eliminate, holy cow, and again, that time 21A of Richie Arthur. You can eliminate Artie Ware from being in contender for this race. You can eliminate Cory Harmon and Jesse Tunney now from winning this race. It's up to the final three now. There's not enough time to make up the laps should something happen to the top three. One of these three is going to win this race here tonight. The 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 of Mike Hadley Jr., the 87 of Matt Smith. And we won't be able to eliminate Smith until there's 1 minute left on the clock. 3 minutes, 35 seconds, 3 minutes, 34 seconds. Time is running out to get your laps in. Is anybody catching up? Anybody moving up? What's happening back in the pack? A couple of guys not here for the closing laps are going to lose ground a little bit. Artie Ware is going to get another top 10 finish here for Ware. Looking at a 6th place finish right now. In fact, Tommy St. John, the worst he's going to do is 7th place. Tommy St. John is going to get 7th place as a rookie with 3 minutes and 7 seconds remaining. Tommy St. John will be a 7th place rookie, but the big story is going to be Matt Smith, a 3rd place as a rookie here in the World Championship 3-hour figure 8 endurance race. Eugene Warden gets a nod for the best of class there for the ARCA racers. In fact, he still has a chance to pass Doug Gregg for another position. And I'm taking a quick look at the track, and yes, with Gregg absent and Warden out there, Warden is going to pick up a position on Doug Gregg here shortly. And watching for that, yes, Warden has taken over 9th place now with 2.5 minutes remaining. Eugene Warden, the big machine, has taken over 9th place, putting us 3 rookies in the top 10. Closing minutes, running out of time. For all you folks here in the stands and over across the land there, Low Budget TV, keep an eye on the website, keep an eye on the buzzword, like them on Facebook. Hook them up, we'll keep cooking them up, and we'll get you covered here, racing all around the clock, all around the world, all around the place, all kinds of racing. Low Budget TV got you covered. I'm going to try and see if I can get a reserve spot there in the booth for the California race coming up in a couple of weeks with 1.5 minutes remaining. 1.5 minutes remaining here in this race. And still in contention is all 3 of your lead cars there. 3T of Mark Tunney, the 4 machine of Mike Hadley, and Matt Smith in the 87, now 3 laps off the pace. When we're down to 1 minute, we will eliminate Matt Smith from being mathematically, well, Matt Smith's still in contention, only 2 laps down. So Smith is still in contention out there. Should something drastic happen to the leader. Down to the final minute, 55 seconds remain, 54 seconds remain. And Hadley is caught back up to Tunney. Can he do something about it, though? Closing laps. Remember last year with Ben and Mike? Will we have a repeat? Will we have a side-by-side battle? Smith is now mathematically eliminated from having a chance at this championship, and it's going to be a shootout now. Hadley gets Warden out of the way, looking for clear sailing. Aims his sights on the 3T of Mark Tunney. Man, oh man. Hadley just booted Eugene Warden out of his way, making a path out there. 18, 17 seconds remain. This will be the last lap, folks. This is going to be it. 12 seconds remain. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Looking for checkers, and that's going to be checkered flag for Mark Tunney. Mike Hadley right on his back bumper for second. Third place is going to go to the rookie Matt Smith. Fourth place in the 17 of Cory Harmon, followed by the 1 of Jesse Tunney. Artie Ware in sixth place in the 38 machine. Tommy St. John, another rookie. Buddy Vertrees, Eugene Warden, the big machine, comes home ninth. An unofficial 10th place to Donnie Garrigus, the third. Another top finish for Garrigus. Mark Tunney celebrates the World Championship 3-hour figure 8 endurance race presented by the folks at Shelby Materials. Oh, Shelby. 396 laps completed. 396 laps completed. Man, oh man, he can hear you now, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Tunney getting her done out there. Congratulations, coming all around. Matt Smith celebrating. It looks like an unintentional smackdown over there on the backstretch. Smith celebrating with some donuts. Heads up, folks, run on the track. We got cars moving around, and it's hard to see with all that smoke. Low budget TV down there trackside. There's the girlfriend, Jennifer, with the hugs. Ben Tunney coming out with the congratulations. Ben Tunney giving a big hug to cousin Mark. Looks like Daddy Bruce, another former winner of this one, coming out as well. And it's another Tunney family reunion at the winner's circle here at the Indianapolis Speedrome. Again, if you're heading on home, again, the pits will be open. Give them a chance to get the cars back in the pit area. That big giant trophy there. I tell you what, going to need an old pickup truck to carry that around. We got a wreath coming up, a giant check. Scott and I's got that. The Garrigus boys carrying the big giant trophy. Great run for a bunch of guys out there. Congratulations, one and all. Oh, the print. Give you a quick rundown of what we got unofficially so far. Remember, there'll be post-race, little mathematician, but we're pretty safe on the top three. Your winner is going to be the 3T of Mark Tunney. Second place, the 4 machine of Mike Hadley Jr. Third, the 87 of Matt Smith. Fourth is going to be the 17 of Cory Harmon. Fifth, the 1 of Jesse Tunney. Then the 38 of Artie Ware. The 29 of Tommy St. John. The 8 of Buddy Vertrees. And then the 9th place, Probably 8th place was the 41 of Buddy Vertrees. 9th place, the 8 of Eugene Warren. 10th place, Donnie Garrigus the third. A great run there. Donnie Murphy hangs on for 11th. Doodle Ferris for 12th. Doug Gregg for 13th. Charlie Hargrave soldiers back home for 14th position. 15th position goes to the Zach Larson machine for the best of the West Coasters. Ricky Schaefer brings the Speedrome Stalker home in 16th position. Richie Arthur wins the Battle of the 21s for 17th. Mike Riddle right behind him in 18th. 19th place goes to Buddy B. Corbin, the third, and 20th. And a contender there for the longest while, Chris Harmon in the 6th machine for 20th position. Folks, it's been a long, long weekend. Big shout out goes to you good people in the stands to make it all possible, pay the bills. and made it able for us to be here. Do you good people in the pit area working on the cars, driving the cars, wrenching the cars, we appreciate you to no end. There would not be these cars out here unless you were putting them together. We truly appreciate that, making the families, making it happen out here on the racetrack. And again, to the Speedrome staff and crew that has been putting in double and triple overtime, trying to get this track in shape. We thank you all very much for your hard work. Going down trackside with Scott Keene and Mark Tunney and the folks.
Down here in Victory Lane, it's been a long weekend, but he's enjoying this final shower. It's a good shower. It's a good rainstorm here for him tonight. Crew, dad, girlfriend, comes the wreath from Jonathan. There you go. There's a big hug from Dad. There you go. There you go. Mark, long weekend, but you got the big paycheck today.
Yeah, you want me to say something? 'Cause I don't even know what to say. I don't know how to. Don't know what to do with my hands, or my words, nothing. I guess you just have to listen for a while because I don't want to miss anybody. My dad, T8 race cars. I mean, damn it, man. It's just such an awesome car. You look at Hadley. I had to kill myself to outrun him. I mean, he was so tough all race. And Pete was shuffling. I can't even talk. Pete has given us everything and anything that we needed or thought that we needed to get the job done on any given night. And you know, this year's had so many ups and downs. I asked everybody on Facebook to wish me a mistake-free race, and I think I actually did it. And I had some luck to go along with it. Big B, Royal Purple, my crew getting me in and out of the pits, no problems there, just clean and green the whole way. My fiance Jennifer supporting me all the way. My mom, Doug, my brother, Chase jumped on. He helped out changing tires today. PGG hooked us up with some nitrogen, man. I can't thank you enough. That got the job done. Thank you to all the fans. This means more to me than what you all think it might. And to get the thumbs up, to get the claps and everything, that really hits me deep. And Kevin Garrigus and crew, hands down, hardest working track crew in the world. I don't care what anybody says. He made this weekend happen for all of us, thanks to Mother Nature being a new you know what. So, who else do I have? I can't miss anybody. Oh, okay. Dad wants to talk to me about him again, and I don't know. He just every time I go around under caution, you know, he gives me a thumbs up, like you're doing good, you're good, you're good. And he's probably my biggest cheerleader, I think. You know, even when I'm aggravated and don't think the car's right, he pumps me up and tells me it is, and just get the job done. And I don't know what to say else other than that. Thank you to anybody and everybody that chipped in on this 3T car to put me where I'm at. I didn't want to be a one-hit wonder. I was always worried about that. This number 2 3-hour win, I think, is just as special, if not more special, to say that I've done it again. And I'm beyond happy right now. This is just awesome.
Right on, brother. And we got a check presentation right here and a big old trophy. Congratulations. You're not a one-hit wonder. You're not Milli Vanilli. You're Mark Tunney, the marksman. On behalf of the Indianapolis Speedrome, Kevin Garrigus, staff and crew, here's $20,000 and a big old trophy. Let's hear it for Mark Tunney!
So another season in the books, another season, another record-making run. 3 rookies in the top 10. some great contenders all around. On behalf of everybody here at the Indianapolis Speedrome, again, I want to thank you folks to no end for your patience and your hard work, your dedication to put this show on. On behalf of Kevin Garrigus and the whole crew, I want to thank every last fan in the stands. I want to thank every last mechanic in the pits. I want to thank all the folks that work so hard out there, whether you're cleaning up the bathrooms or making a pop or sweeping up a mess on the track. Thank you for your hard work and all your time. Please be safe on your way home. If you come on in the pits, say hey. But on behalf of everybody here at the Speedrome, I want to thank you all for being on board. Tori Styles, I'll get the final shout out, the final sign off here. To you good people online, if you're still with me, see you next time on Low Budget. Tell Tommy how much you love me, and we'll see you on down the road, folks. Stay safe. And remember to return your transponders, to return your transponders to the transponder booth. Please return your transponders to the transponders booth. Racers, all team.
Everything with the wreath on too, please.
All right, let's try the other hand then. Got only a second timer up here. I don't know what to do. Okay.
And then so I went the other way. Grab the shit. I don't know where the United States is.
What?
United States. There. I thought it was Uganda or something.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Am I good now? Am I good now?
Thank you, job, Rob.
Jennifer and
Why wasn't you in it? Pay attention.
Alexa, I need you. I'm going to put you in.
While you're talking,
Hey,
the
you get
Amazon
mom
thing for a
down.
minute, I was like, where
Yes,
did
I need your mom. The guy next to me.
We'll get her attention in a minute.
Yeah. I do. We can move the trophy over. Maybe no.